Oh, hey there. Sorry, guys. I was napping on this pillow. It's my pillow. It's a my pillow, and it's two-sided for the patriotic type. This side seems to be more comfortable, yet now it seems more turbulent than ever. The side seems a little rough, little tough to gauge, like a lot's going on, but we'll be okay. We'll be okay. If you ever need to hide, switch over to this side. It's I'm not gonna lie, one of the most comfortable pillows I have in my gun room. We don't need to look any further into that. Um, it's not like it's the only pillow in my gun room, you know? So let's go ahead and give a quick hello to everybody. We're gonna do this super quick because I've noticed that it takes about 12 minutes to say hello to you guys. So let's start with this. Kurt24 was number one tonight, my friend. So you earn yourself two crisp high fives. Congratulations. Everyone else, you don't matter. Just kidding. I love all y'all. Carolina EDC Reviews, what's up? Man Against the Masses, Slim223, Flying Rich, Dirt McGirt. We got. Man, y'all talk a lot. Toy Town Nick, what's up, brother? Joe Morris says, good evening, my fine ladies and gentlemen of the evening. I want to ride. What's up? Opie, what's poppin'? Sport Brand, what's up, brother? Safe Line Live, Safe Line Live. What up? What up? And CNT Designs and Arms, what's up, y'all? If y'all need some plasma cuts, some dope plasma cuts for signs and shit like that, holler at CNT Designs and Arms. Check out his YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe too. Who else we got up in here? 10-minute warning, huh? 10-minute warning. I know. Dirt McGirt, our resident meteorologist. We got some exciting things going on tonight. I'm not going to lie. Chamber Defense, what's up, brother? Plusteek Gutz. IPS, what is poppin', brother? Ron Wayne. Chenamemba. Good to see you. My Subway doesn't serve 3,000 subs in one day. But you know who does? Well, not exactly 3,000. I mean, you know what I mean. Sorry. My bad. I'm getting blowed up over here. Jose Romero. Good to see you. Shooting Gallery, New England. Good to see you as well, my brother. Knights Custom Builds. What's popping? Who else we got up in here? Whoa. Thirsty Colt. Where you been at? Did you just get released? Where you been at, dog? Zero F's Givon. JC9, good to see you, man. And Thirsty Colt. Thank you for letting us know that your PP is rock hard. 80XR920 Swamp Dog Armory. Mike McClune, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you. And I think that's it. Guys, we got some exciting stuff to discuss. You flig. Nice pillow. Thanks. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, guys. This is probably the coolest thing I've ever gotten because sometimes, who doesn't fall asleep face first on their computer desk from time to time? You know, if you're like me and you live stream, when you're done, you're already almost falling asleep at the end of it anyway. Sometimes you do fall asleep in your live streams. So just instead of going all the way upstairs, going to the bathroom, going to bed, just stay where you are, grab a Gatorade bottle, and it's a spin on the My Pillow thing, right? It's funny, but it's also actually really nice. It's comforting, There's something going on with this side though. Something just feels like it's just something's going on. Something's wrong. Like it's like that side is going through turbulent times, and it just I don't know. I'll get to the bottom of it. T for Tejas. What's up, brother? Good to see you, right? All right, so let's get started. So, I want to let all of you know that this evening we actually have a special guest. Ow. Now, this guest you may have seen as a micro celebrity on Twitter. You may have seen him mixing NyQuil and milk together and telling everyone that it's a delicacy, when really it's actually quite literally poison. But you may see him enjoying his Pilk. You may see him drinking oceanic water from time to time.
Oh, wow. You seem to have caught me mid-drink when I'm drinking this crisp, delectable ocean water.
Is
I've
that
actually gone
NyQuil?
to town on this
Is that
bad boy.
NyQuil?
Oh, why, hello. Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing here today? How are you doing, Dark?
Plastic. I'm doing good. But plastic ads. Is that NyQuil? You can tell me.
I'm sorry,
Is it?
it's actually brake fluid. A lot of people say I
Oh,
have a problem, but I can stop anytime I want.
you just don't want to.
No, it's brake fluid. I can stop anytime I want.
Oh, dude. That was good. That was good. You might
Uh,
you might
uh,
die, but that was good.
yeah, I probably
It
will.
kind of
I
looks
didn't.
more like an
I gotta check this out.
antifreeze.
Hold on, go ahead.
Your whole mouth is blue. Like no
Oh
homo.
yeah.
Like open up a little bit. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's
I'll be
blue.
honest with you. I was waiting because you kept like thinking like you were about to transition into oh, well, our guest for tonight. So I literally stood here like
I thought
just
I
so I
saw
could make the joke to be like, oh, you caught me mid sip on this crisp ocean water.
it. Yeah. Now, what you're drinking is not just an oceanic mist.
That is
It's
correct.
actually also NyQuil. Just kidding. So what are you drinking?
I am drinking ocean water. So Sonic, if you go to Sonic and you ask for an ocean water, it's like a coconut slushy thing. I think there's also like blueberry or whatever. I don't know. My
Ah,
family actually bought a whole bunch of powdered, um, like powdered ocean water drink mix and stuff. So I'm just like, you
nice.
guys haven't drank this, so I'll clean you out.
That's what's up, man. Hell yeah. Tech Money, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Keith, Chinamemba, Chinamemba, good to see you. Oh yeah, and guys, I'm so sorry. Sometimes I get just so caught up as I run through. Allow me to do this. CNT Designs. Stay flying live. Mike McClune. Heath. Kurt 24. Hold on. Ron Wayne. Okay. Hold on. 80XR 920, who I lovingly call RDX. And I think there was one other. Shooting Gallery New England. Shooting Gallery New England. Chanamemba. Chanamemba. Thank you all for being channel members. I love y'all. You guys are the ones that make this thing go round. Actually, that's a lie. I do because I stream, but I appreciate all of you. So, Zegeets de Plusteek.
We?
Let let everyone know who you are, what you do, and actually, you know what? Who you are, what you don't do, and where they can find you.
Okay, so
And cheers, by the way.
for those of you who are the uninitiated, cheers. For those of you who are the uninitiated, my name is Plastic Gats. I am a actually, you know what? I already told you who I am, and I don't print NFA items because that is highly illegal and irresponsible. Because I support the Second Amendment, but
Yeah.
but
I live
you
life
know,
by one document. Oh, I'm sorry.
base.
I meant to hold up the NFA. I meant to hold up the
Oh,
NFA.
the NFA. Of course, of course, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
But yeah, I print guns and I shoot them sometimes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I I was really upset because I didn't get to upload some videos that I had lined up, and I didn't even get to film them um, because okay, so I had just done my first like review because CV Life sent me this. Actually, it's surprisingly nice red dot,
It's a
red green
Pinty?
dot.
Is it a Pinty?
No, it's not a pinty. It's a CV Life. This is $43, I think.
Nice.
So it's very nice. And so I uploaded that video. Yeah, my mouth is glowing. Sorry, boys. But then I'm not gonna. I know you can't hold up. I know we can't hold up guns, so I'll just show you this frame. This frame that was originally going to be. This is the 26, but it was the 26X. I can't.
Is
find
that
it.
the 1926? Or, oh, that's just
No, this is the 20, just the regular 26. I think this is the one that Ivan did, and Chairman One stippled it. You can tell because it's a brick. It's got Ivan.
Oh, sorry.
It's got Ivan ergos. But anyways, I had this out in my truck for like a week because I want to because
Good catch. Good catch, my man. For those of you that have no idea what's going on, he's going through a little bit of an issue with a malfunction with his cable.
audio thing.
Yeah,
Also,
audio
if
thing.
you see me instinctively mid sentence just rip the XLR cable out of my mic sometimes, and I don't know why, it started doing this thing where it just goes
Dude,
and it's just really
crazy.
loud. I'm pretty sure it's my audio interface, but I have my voice mod up here so I can monitor it. So if it starts doing that, I'll.
Bro, when I was on with you earlier, like behind the scenes, backstage, Martin Kaminsky said, "Are you guys speaking in French to throw off les feds?" And then he said, "His mic must be les bugged."
It is. It's wiretap. So,
Yeah.
anyways, I had the 26X, the frame that I left. I had built the 26 parts into this, and it was freaking sick. It didn't really give me any problems.
I saw it actually. You submitted that.
It was freaking cool. And the only problem is that leaving it out in my truck for so long, it's starting to get in the part in Oklahoma where it's just a furnace, and it is not fun. So nothing warped or anything. It was just that the 48V Phantoms. Yeah, probably. That's probably what it is. I'll fix that. I'll fix that later.
I just wanted to throw that up there just so you didn't miss it. Don't feel obligated to read right away. I don't want to interrupt you.
Okay, no, it's bound to happen. I jump around in my stories because I'm,
Plastic Gats.
Tarded or something. Yeah, I am. Anyways.
You left it out there for a week.
I left it. Yes, I left it in my truck for a very long time. Nothing warped, but the mag catch kind of melted a little bit, and the spring is no longer holding tension, and so it just kind of jiggles back and forth. So I was like, okay, I'll just print another one, because I got all this filament that I need to use, and so I printed one in a blue color. I printed one in a blue color like this.
Nice.
And I was like, hey guys, I can finally film my Glock 26X video. And then Chairman 1 said it sure would be a shame if somebody were to release an updated file pack tomorrow. And I was like, dude, I just printed it. I just put it together.
Oh, man.
But well, that.
Don't feel bad, because you're looking at a guy that has printed one frame over the last 6 months, and that's not true. It's not true. Actually, I printed 2 frames over the last 6 months.
Oh no, that's a layer shift.
Yes, it is. Oh, look at that bad boy. But hey, the inside, joint clean though. Anyway, clearly that's not safe or usable. What up, UAB? What up, MC? What up, Bob? So this obviously for any YouTube moderator watching, this is not a firearm. This is not even a component. It's just a grip module. So,
Yeah.
This is the MAV 9, and this is one of the only frames that I've printed in the last 6 months. I finally put it together only because Come Out in PLA sent me the rails. He donated them to my OS, and I put it together, and I won the roast that week.
Nice.
It's crazy.
Nice.
Yep. Is there any way to repair your mag catch?
No, not at all. Because with the 26X, it's the that irritating Glock spring, the mag catch spring.
Yep.
It's so stupid because when I printed the frame, that little hole that it's supposed to drop into, it's not even a full circle. It doesn't even enclose the spring entirely. It's just two little walls, and the spring just sits in the middle. And I'm like, that's not good. And then I looked at the V2 frames, and they do have an actual like enclosed spring holder, whatever it is. But I'm looking forward to doing that, and I may print it. I may try to print it rails down. I've never printed rails down because it always warps.
Bro,
I'm gonna print more than one frame though.
I would much rather have. Yeah, you know what? I was considering doing like 2 frames, like
Yeah.
kind of staggered or something like that. Okay,
One
excellent question. Zero F's Given says, Dark, is JSD up and running again? So, great news. JSD is up and running again. Now, I do want to let you guys know that originally I had said that they're up and running. They're only selling parts. You can still purchase the T-shirt that supports their cause. But then I got a text that said, frames available until they are gone. Guys, right now, and I couldn't believe it myself, right now it is extremely difficult to get your hands on frames. It is becoming more difficult to get your hands on frames. So I went and looked on JSD's site, and hold on, look at this here. I'm going to drop a link in here for y'all to go to on JSD. So I went on JSD's site, and they have 19s, 17s, and literally every single color in 26. They even have blue titanium in 26. Now, for all of you that may not know, it is a possibility that I'm not supposed to say anything. If I were to purchase frames, it may be advantageous to purchase frames like blue titanium and cobalt for the future. But because of the rule change, it may not make a difference. So get whatever you want. Get any frame you can get, okay? Like I just got a Flat Dark Earth 17. I have nothing to build a 17 or 34 or anything right now. And yeah, most of my shit's blue titanium anyway. But yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. Everything is available on JSD. The frames, though, are only selling until they run out. Then they are gone. Remember when these used to be $59, guys? Remember all those videos that I did that was like, guys, 26 and 19 frames are $59 and $69. Get them now. Use my code. Oh, and use code CRUMP or CRUMPY to get the same deal that my code used to give you. But they stopped my code because, like, everyone was using it. It went through Reddit, Facebook, it went through Twitter, everyone was using it. But use Crump or Crumpy to receive that discount. But yeah, that's where we are. So they used to be $59. Now they're $129, and all of you are sad. But guess what? You can still get unserialized frames because pure tyranny is coming upon us in the next 50 days. Yeah, so a couple things to consider. 3D printers And
Invest in a 3D printer.
yes, definitely. I highly recommend that you invest in a 3D printer. Um, they were $69. Yep, that's true. Nice. Invest in a 3D printer, and you guys aren't going to like it. Your wallets and your bank accounts aren't going to like it. But it is time to take the plunge and invest in a ghost gunner. I know that that may seem a little crazy, but it is the time. It
Are
is
they
the
actually
time.
selling those? Like, are
Yeah,
they for release?
yeah. I'm
Hmm,
actually finally going to get one myself.
nice. Because it was
A
one of those things where I always checked and it was like, oh yeah, we don't have any available. And I'm like,
Well, so
okay.
they're always on a wait list. I spoke to Cody Wilson about getting one about a year ago, and I'm getting mine within the next week or so. Uh, well, I don't know if they want me putting their business out, but another one of our viewers was like, "Yo, if Dark's getting a ghost gunner, I'm getting a ghost gunner because he has to, we have to like match our PP lengths, you know."
Mm,
So
yeah.
he was like, "Yeah, I'm putting down a deposit." That was like 7, 8 months ago, and he just got it now. But they're available. Even guys, you know what? If you go to 1776 Supply Co., Ghost Gunners are available there too. And I think they're even available at GST Supply. So I'm just saying, yeah, 1776 Supply Co. I want to give a special shout out to them too because they actually sent me something that I haven't been able to review or show you guys. Usually I do like, you know, what is it when you open boxes and shit, like an unboxing. But as soon as they sent it, man, my daughter got COVID, then my wife got COVID. We've been quarantining for like 2 weeks. It's been crazy, and I've been having to try to work and take care of my daughter and my wife and everything, and still hold the stream schedule and all that. It's been crazy. So, if you guys are
Dude,
out
you're
there,
still worried about COVID? Dude, haven't you heard? COVID's out. Ukraine's in.
that's
Actually,
right.
no,
You're right.
Ukraine's out now. It's monkeypox now, apparently.
You're right. So they were both diagnosed with Ukraine. I'm sorry.
Oh, R.I.P. R.I.P.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Oh, Gerchop says, Dark hurt my feelings last stream. I don't think I can be here tonight. I didn't hurt your feelings. I just said, you didn't need to insult me. That's all. I'm sorry that you insulting me hurt your feelings. I love you. That's all right. Uh, Ghost Gunner Machine is less than a full blown CNC setup, but but for home hobbies, they look to be affordable. And GG3 has been milling steel. Yes, this
Mm.
is true. All of the above is true. It is not a 5-axis CNC machine, mostly because those are $250,000 and up. This is a quarter $10,000.
2600 last time I checked.
Is that on?
JSD.
Yeah. So JSD. So if you buy it through, if you buy it directly through, from Ghost Gun or Deterrent Suspense, or it's distributed. If you buy the Ghost Gunner direct, then it's 2,500. If you buy it from JSD, it's like 2,600. If you buy it from 1776 Supply Co., I think it's like a hair more. So it's all about accessibility. Right now, people are freaking out because they're like, I'm never going to be able to build again. How will I do this? Oh, I can just buy these aluminum chunks, and boom. So I'm going to get. What's up? Come out in PLA. I actually just gave you a shout out, brother.
See,
So
what I think is really crazy about the whole Ghost Gunner thing is that the first two iterations, to my knowledge, the way I understand it, is that they were used to finish out already made 80 percenters. So they would finish milling all of your AR 80%, and it would just drill out that pocket hole
yeah,
or
so
whatever.
they were meant to complete 80%
But
initial.
now all you need are just bricks, that are a certain set dimension, and they can just turn them into parts where you bolt them together, and they make lowers. You see, that's really
Right.
interesting because if you were to sell them even as 80%, right, and they were just
Mhm.
together, right, just one piece, even as an 80% incomplete lower, if you were to sell that, you'd get into some trouble. Um, even if you were to say, oh well, legally it's not a firearm, but the ATF doesn't really care, the government doesn't really care, they'll still slap as many charges as they can on you. But the whole like it's in three parts, right? Like the buffer tower is its own thing, the upper lower receiver and the lower receiver is its own thing. What I want to see is could you have three different entities that had ghost gunners, or at least machined these parts that bolted together, so you could just buy like part A and then from one place, and then part B from another, and then part C from another place. Like, how would they regulate those? Or
So
or if you could make them serve a function, like you know how everybody's like, guys, it's not an auto sear, it's just a bottle opener, or like, guys, it's a
yeah,
it's a it's a
yeah,
wall hanger. I want
yeah.
to see if they could do that. That'd be pretty interesting.
So the wall hanger thing didn't work out too well.
Yeah.
But no, so a couple things to kind of unpack there. So believe it or not, after this rule change, the one thing that is going to be completely safe is an AR 80%. You will still be able to buy, sell, trade, get unserialized 80% AR lowers, unfinished AR frames, no problem. And the reason is because what they're saying is that I'll give an example right here. So let's see.
Man's 80% it out.
Inventory here. Oh, come on. Okay, perfect. All right. So I'll give an example. Okay, so what they're saying is that should one buy a kit, and in the kit is an unfinished frame, a jig, instructions or templates, and tooling for milling and parts for completion, this will be considered a firearm because they're considering this readily convertible. Okay? Now, alongside that, obviously you guys know everything has to be blue titanium. If you were to buy something like this and it were doesn't have to be blue titanium, but if it was an AR lower, these things come just like this, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't have an unfinished frame, a jig, instructions and templates, drill bits and tooling and parts to complete it. It's just literally this alone. So if you're just cranking out an ass load of AR lowers, not that that's the only thing it can do. It can do so much more, but it would be worth its weight in gold if you were just cranking out a gang of these lowers. And it is so clean. Like when these come out from a ghost gunner, or when a 1911 frame comes out from a ghost gunner, holy shit, bro! It is like, I
And
mean,
especially if you have, like, I would imagine if you had bare aluminum. Okay, because here's the thing. This may just be me. I am a very big fan of machine marks, especially on functional pieces, where you can see where the mill went over it
yeah.
and it's got those lines and scratches and those marks in there. I think that's pretty cool. A lot of other people don't, but I mean, if you could find a way to finish them, like you Cerakote them, or like a black oxide or whatever, like, or a salt bath nitride, something like that. Yeah, you could make a lot of money doing that. And especially if you had a market for people that liked the raw aluminum, with the machine marks on it. Oh, dude, you're golden.
Hell yeah. I just want to touch on one thing. Too Many Choices says they don't have the authority to ban shit. Now, oh, hold on, something more important. That blue looks
True.
good. Thank you.
As facts. True factual.
Appreciate you. Thank you. So Too Many Choices says they do not have the authority to ban shit. And this is the one rare occasion that I will say that Too Many Choices is 100% correct. The thing is that they also didn't have the authority to push forward the Hughes Amendment in May 19th of 1986. They don't have the authority to limit our ability to own form one machine guns. They also didn't have the authority to push through the National Firearms Act of 1934. They also, of course, didn't have the authority to push through the Gun Control Act of 1968. So I don't dislike the idea of jail or prison or death in a prison, but I do prefer the idea of freedom and independence. So I don't want to take the risk. This is the same kind of thing where it's like, live your life based on your thoughts, your vision, your ideals, your true beliefs, but also at the same time, understand the world that you live in, right? Like, it's the same thing when I talk about, like, money, right? Like, I hate money. I dislike what money has done to our world. But I also know that for me to operate in this world, I need to acquire money. I need to use money as leverage. I need to use money as a tool to gain, preparations for the craziness going on. I have to say, fuck my belief for this moment and allow me to acknowledge the world that I'm living in and just walk this path. You don't have to, you just could choose to. So for the same example, yes, they do not have the authority to ban shit, right?
They're going to try to.
Yeah, they can try to. They're not even like, passing legislation in most cases. They're just making rule changes. So it's even like extra like
it's sort of like when you and your friends are playing a game that you made up, and then all of a sudden you're losing and you go, well, no, now you can't do that anymore and they said, well, no, we already agreed on this, and they said, well, we changed the rules. Well, I changed the rule.
Yeah.
I think it was really interesting that I was telling my dad about a lot of the whole I don't even remember what we were talking about, and I said, you give them an inch and they'll take a mile. It's like right as soon as you're about to hit the touchdown, or I don't remember what I said.
Move the goalpost.
Yeah, like they'll move the goalpost. And I said that's how it operates. And then he said this, which I don't think he intended on it being this eye-opening. Maybe he did. He's a pretty smart dude. He said a lot of people, and I'm paraphrasing what he said. I'm gonna tell the last part. And he said a lot of people are too concerned about them moving the goalpost when they should be more concerned about why the goalpost is on wheels in the first place. It's like,
yeah,
I didn't even think of that, and I'm just like,
I mean, yeah,
I don't know if he intended on it being that philosophical or if he knows the context in which I was talking, but that's important. That's important. Maybe you need to pop the wheels.
I mean, so right there, that tells us that we are living in a world that is rigged against us. Both sides are corrupt, and everyone in between. And this is all, we know this is all a power play, right?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I knew that what I was going to post on Twitter today was not going to be popular. I don't know if you saw it, but it. So everything that's a crisis needs to be handled right away. Like when there's a crisis, it's like this needs to be done, like, right now. Blah blah blah. I knew this was a bad idea, but whatever. When I got 0 retweets, I knew immediately that I fucked up. But I posted. So now, the current administration Plastic is not too manic tonight. I think
Oh
he's just not
no,
as hyper as he
I'm
is.
I'm I'm a little tired. I had a pretty busy week.
Yeah.
I'm just wiped out.
So I had posted something along the lines of, you know what? I'll even pull it up. Why not? Um, Twitter. Um,
Oh, also while you're getting that, I don't know if I showed you that. I don't know if I showed you this.
what is
Your
this?
boy got level 4 plates.
Nice, brother. Hell yeah. Good for you, man. How you feel?
I feel like I could take on a black tip 30-06.
Yeah, I feel like you can take on several, actually.
Well, I don't know. I'm okay. So this is guard dog body armor because I heard a lot of good stuff about them, and I see people doing just crazy multi-hit stuff. And I mean, this stuff's pretty good. It was only $1. No, not $1. Oh, I wish it was $1.70. It was only $1.70 a plate if you bought them both. So I
Okay,
paid
that's
like
not bad.
350 something, I think. But dude, they're totally worth it. And this
Dude,
like
I mean,
minimalist thing, I'm not really looking into getting comms or anything because I'm really not. This is just a concerned citizen loadout. It's kind of whatever. And I kind of don't want to mess with any. I don't want to have to mess with any ham licenses because I think that's stupid. So I'm probably just not going to get a Baofeng or whatever everybody else says. But for holding mags, dude, this thing's freaking sick.
dude, that's so I believe that everyone should have two loadouts. They should have like an overt carrier, which it should be level 4. If you can put like level 3A soft, like full coverage soft armor behind it, um, and then like have a concealable level 3. I mean, if you can pull off a way to conceal level 4, awesome. But them bad boys are thick with two C's. So I have a it's too heavy. I have a level 3 concealable plate carrier that's like straight minimalist. It's just like a Cordura pocket
Mm,
on the front and back, and then Cordura straps and a Velcro around the front. But because there's so much hook and loop, there's like the Velcro on the front. I
yeah.
can actually stick one of the Velcro triple mag carriers and then close the straps around it to hold that bad boy in there. And I mean, that one right there, you could probably conceal if you needed to.
No, I don't think I can. Maybe if I had like a big jacket or something. I just don't think that a lot of people would probably appreciate me uh, if I had like an open jacket or something like that. I mean,
So
maybe the plates, yeah, but
the
this would
trick
stick
is,
out a little bit.
if you're looking for like, what do I get to prepare for carrying a plate carrier like out in the world? If we got to a point where I like not needed to, but like should rock a plate carrier while I'm out in the world, what should I do? I will let everyone know right now. The best thing for every single person to get is a poncho,
Mm.
because
Oh yeah.
ponchos are huge, they're baggy, it's difficult to see kind of what's underneath of them. And if you have the ponchos that don't have like the arm sleeves and they just have the splits in them, you can actually keep your rifle slung up underneath a poncho. And it's just like super easy, quick access to get to. It's definitely something I recommend for every single person to have. You can even get one of those inexpensive ponchos, throw them in your like bleeder pack on your medical pack on your kit, and if you need to, rip that bad boy open, pull the poncho out, throw it on, and boom, good to town. You get to
So when you
cover
say
that.
poncho, you mean like a Clint Eastwood, Good, Bad, and Ugly
Like
poncho?
I mean like one of the thin rain ponchos.
Oh.
Yep. Yep.
Bro, I don't know what it is, but when I see those, like, you know, those old Western ponchos, or like, have you seen like an old Alamo gunfighter,
Yeah.
where they got
Probably
like the
not really.
bandoliers and they got the poncho on and they got it thrown over one side? That's the drip. That's the drip,
I
man. Why
mean,
do
it
we
is
ever
dripping.
deviate from that?
It
That is
is
the
dripping.
drip.
100% dripping all day. But Mexican ballistics. Is Sabar here?
Oh, dude, we gotta ask him about that.
Yeah.
But oh, anyways, I don't know if I said this. These are ceramic plates because I'm not an idiot with AR 500. You know what I mean? I kind
Yeah.
of enjoy being able to have a enclosed jugular vein,
Yep.
you know,
That's
and all this
important.
stuff.
That's important. So my level fours are ceramic as well. But I will tell you, I also have like that concealable plate carrier is
Mm,
level three steel. So it's, you know, I kind of,
is what it is.
yeah, I live life a quarter mile at a time, you know. So, but what was I saying? I was saying something else before. Oh, so the Twitter post. So I posted on Twitter, and here, I'll just blow this up here. So I said, yeah, let's just ban Lake City ammo sales to civilians. Do it for the kids. Let's focus on this now, as the recent tragedies give us leverage to push our plan of complete and utter control. Let's not focus on things like drugs. The drugs do our job for us.
Oh yeah, and that's
Focus
clear
on the kids.
sarcasm though.
Yeah, focus on the kids, right? Do it for the kids. And it's like, look, I'm not saying that like people want to do drugs, go do drugs, man. Like that's you do you. Like that's not what I'm here for. What I'm talking about is like if they're saying that fentanyl and drug overdoses and everything in that category is an epidemic and needs national attention like immediately, then what action are you taking other than drugs being illegal? And obviously, by outlawing something, they're seeing how successful legislation is for criminals, right? And then they say, well, we're going to make these tools illegal because that will keep people from using them. As we look at the same scenario with drugs, which has literally kept no. I mean, guys, like, come on, like, how stupid can you be? Anyway, I'm not saying that we should take action on drugs and fentanyl and all this shit right now. There are some things that need to be done. They've made some changes, almost to like purposefully increase the amount of deaths that have taken place. Guys, you can barely get naloxone inhalers and arcane inhalers to like save people's lives from drug overdoses now. You used to be able to get several for free. Every single health insurance would cover Narcan inhalers for free. They're the ones that you squirt in someone's nose if they're overdosing. One or two of them will bring somebody back from it.
You get a lot of medicine for a whole lot cheaper if insurance or what's the word I'm looking for? It's I don't want to be one of those guys where it's just, oh, big insert corporation here. No, that's what it is, right? A lot of big pharma stuff is whether there's contracts involved or whatever. Like the don't they make insulin for like what, $1 a pop or whatever it is? Like
Oh my god!
insulin's ridiculously, it's super cheap, stupid cheap, but they sell it at this jacked up price and it's just stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is a good question. Chuck Norris Gun Club, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Dark, syringes are paraphernalia. How come junkies never run out of needles? So there's actually a couple reasons for this. Number one, syringes are not necessarily paraphernalia. We'll use the glong as an example. The glong is not paraphernalia until there are trace substances of illegal substances. So like, or trace amounts of illegal substances in there. So, when you build a glong, which is a Glock glong, if
A tobacco pipe. It is a tobacco pipe.
it is, it's you can still use a glong to smoke tobacco. Just
Yeah.
saying. But you're right. You're right. It's a bad word. Um, it is a tobacco pipe that, if somebody were to use for an illegal or decriminalized substance, if they were to smoke weed out of it, then that residue in there would then make that glong, gun aside, it would make that uh, tobacco pipe uh, paraphernalia. But the clean piece itself is not paraphernalia. Syringes are exactly the same. So when junkies are running around with clean syringes with no, dope in them, then they're not illegal. They're not against the law. And in most states, if a person walks into a pharmacy and says, "Hello, I need insulin syringes," then the pharmacy says, "Okay, what do you need?" "I need one bag of 1 cc 30 gauge needles." And they say, "Okay, what are you using them for?" And they say, "Insulin." As long as you have an ID and will sign your name in a book, they typically cannot refuse to sell them to you. So that's how they're getting needles, or they're getting them from needle exchanges, or there's a lot of different ways to get them. And people sell them. You can go online and order a box of 1,000 of them right now with no proof of anything at all. So yeah, there's that. Now it's also, I mean, let's be honest. Like, if restriction really worked, right? Like if restricting ARs and AKs and Glocks and stick mags and if taking these out of the hands of citizens would just save little Jimmy, then
if it just saves one life.
If it could just save
one life,
yeah,
it'll be worth it. When they don't realize that that a lot of guns are used to save thousands of lives every single year.
Yeah, possibly hundreds of thousands of lives.
Just like that one, I believe it was in Texas. I believe there was a story. You may or may not have heard it. I know Langley Outdoors Academy. Do you know that? YouTube channel?
That was actually debunked. That was
really. Did that not happen?
It did not happen, and it's not his fault. He got bad information. I spoke with John Crump the following day, and he had said that was not the way that it happened.
Because I remember a lot of other people had reported it that same exact way. Did they put out a retraction? Because that was like, what, 2 or 3 days ago, I think they released that?
Yeah, something like that. I think most people are not going to go back and retract their stuff, even if they do find out that what they said was wrong. But, most people just take the information and run with it because a source that's typically reliable reported on it. Like a lot of people take John Crump's information and run with it, and then like one time he was wrong, right? It was a little different. Like people were kind of setting him up to like make him wrong to affect his reputation, but yeah, I mean he was wrong, So
my thing is, I feel like if
so what Langley did retract.
Okay. Was that on his YouTube channel, or did he make a post about it somewhere else?
I'm actually not sure, and I'm not educated enough to know, like, on the subject to know what exactly happened. But I know that.
So I remember what was reportedly to have happened. So reportedly, there was an individual who went into a gym, like a gymnasium or something, during like a summer basketball camp. I think it was some sports camp. And in the article, it said that the shooter had encountered. They had an encounter with the armed teacher and left. And it didn't make sense because what they had believed at the time was that what had actually happened is that he got in a gunfight with the armed teacher, and then he runs out and gets shot by police. But as far as I know, that is, to my knowledge, what had happened.
Yeah. And I mean, it does happen all the time, and it is completely underreported on purpose, of course. Like the dude, the shooting at the church. I'm drawing a blank on it. Oh my God, the dude that used an AR. I actually got an invite for him to come on the show. Geez, what's the church shooting here? I want to hit a couple things and I'll come back to this. Too many choices is asking Dark Ash Plastic Gas how much the plates weigh.
They're not heavy at all. If I had to guess, I'd say now I think it was they said it was 6 pounds total. I can go and check for you real quick because I think I have the
Usually
they're guard dog ceramic plates.
Usually they're like
Let's
6
see.
to 7 pounds each if they're steel. Sometimes
But then
more.
again, these are the first time that I've ever worn plates like ever. You
Yeah.
know.
Ceramic, I don't remember. My my rig is heavy, but I got a lot of stuff on it, which I'm gonna actually pare down. I got like 250 blue chem lights on it, and
So they're 5.7 pounds with spall guards.
each
So it's ceramic and they have spall guards.
gotcha, and that's 5.7 pounds per plate.
Let me see. Single plate. Uh, yes, I believe that is per plate.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, adding 10, 11 pounds on you for rifle protection is nothing.
Hmm.
That's totally reasonable. I love my ceramics, man. The only downside to ceramics is that like if you for some reason had to like just run and dive and whatever, take a huge dive on like a hard surface, you will definitely break the plates.
Hmm.
Um, they'll still be effective, right? Like up to a certain point, but it could create weak points in the plates. But because of the upside of the level of protection, that's why I rock level fours in my main carrier.
Now you may
Um,
not know this, but before I got into guns, I was really big into I don't want to say medieval weaponry, but more like melee, like bladed weapons and stuff like that. Because I mean, I did make knives for a pretty long time, so I was very invested
oh,
in a lot of that. And I remember seeing a lot of like, have you ever heard that myth? And this is gonna sound really weird, but have you ever heard that myth that um, armored knights needed cranes to lift them up onto their horses or something like that? Have you ever heard people say that?
no, no.
Well, as you can imagine, that is a lie because if you need a crane to lift you up onto your horse, how are you going to move around just
Yeah.
normally?
How is the
And a
horse
lot,
going to move you?
yeah, like that's what I'm saying. So, a lot of medieval armory and armor. And whenever I talk about this, I'm talking about this in the context of like European armor because there's so many different types of armor that
Yeah,
existed throughout history. But just for the simplicity's sake and for brevity, we'll be talking about European stuff. So a lot of European stuff like chain is very heavy,
yeah,
let alone plate armor because plate is just more or less just like thin plates that have been heat treated and just strapped onto you. But chain are a bunch of metal rings that are linked together, and you make like a shirt or whatever. And a lot of medieval European style armor had plates in conjunction with chain to cover up all of those. Because chain was flexible, but plate wasn't. So
yeah,
under your armpits, you would have like chain, like choifs
yeah.
or whatever that would protect, your armpits because they realize that there's a lot of important stuff going on here.
There is.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, and so that was pretty interesting. And so this armor would weigh, and then again, this varies depending on what armor it is. There's a lot of variation, but for the most part, I think it weighed like 100 pounds at least, or at some of the heavier ones weighed 100 pounds, and that's not including if you had your sword or if you had a mace or a hammer, which admittedly weren't that heavy, but I mean, every pound counts when you're up that high.
yeah,
And a lot of it, you're probably saying, well, 100 pounds, that sounds like a lot of weight. Well, it's interesting how they got around that. So, if you're wearing like a shirt or something like that,
hmm,
a lot of that weight would be on your shoulders. But as a lot of European armorers found out, or a lot of people that wore armor, what you would see is that they would wear a belt that would basically strap the armor like around here, and that would basically support it by the hips. So you would have the weight distributed on your shoulders and also on your hips. And that's just one of those simple little things that I think is really, really, I don't know. It's just interesting because there are a lot of parallels to that. I
yeah,
mean, me particularly, I had to, with the cummerbunds, I had to basically cinch them up all they could to make it as tight as possible because I can still breathe in this stuff,
Yeah,
but it's like it's hugging my body, right?
yeah,
Like the straps are still doing stuff, but these plates are nothing, just
yeah.
because it's like clamping onto me, and I
That's
love it.
literally exactly how they should be. It looks like the placement is right. It looks like it's coming right up to your
The collarbone.
yeah, yeah. So
Because I was there was just a week before I bought these plates. There was just a week period where I was just deep diving into a whole bunch of like Garand thumb, blah blah. Say what you will about T-Rex arms, I don't really care one way or the other, because a lot of people say a lot of the same stuff as far as plates go. Because I know a
mhm,
lot of people, or I know T-Rex arms. Lucas, he's kind of a controversial figure. I don't really care.
yeah,
Um, and I was learning about plates. I was learning about ham radio. That's why I was talking about the bow thing and all that
mhm,
stuff. But I was just I was a sponge. I was just absorbing all of this information because I'm like, you know what? God gave me all of these good squishy organs. I'm gonna make an investment in
yeah,
protecting them.
yeah. Dude, I mean, it's the craziest thing. Like I've talked to people that are like, oh, they always say, a prepper, right? Like I'm a prepper, or I'm in the preparedness community, or whatever they want to call it. And then they got, 50 guns and no armor. Of course, like no water, no food and stuff. But like, um, armor is quite possibly like the most passive way to protect yourself
Mm.
that exists. Whether it's like I mean, shit, I love like an armored vehicle, but just a plate carrier by itself, man, is like a 10 by 12 spot covering your vitals is huge. And when you're in a gunfight, somebody else said like I would not be, comfortable running into a gunfight without my stomach and my nuts uh, covered up.
Covered.
But
Yeah.
the purpose of plates are to cover your vitals. That's it. I thought the same thing when I first got a plate carrier. Like nowadays, you can look into it and find out within like a few searches and a couple videos that like why the plates are the way that they are. But
Because
I
they
was
just
like,
cover all the stuff that you need to live.
yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
Or at least initially.
mortal wounds, right? If you were to get hit here, like mortal wounds, no question. A gut shot, you can live with a gut shot. Like that's
Hmm.
you could probably live with a gut shot with no attention for days before you fucking bled out.
Yeah.
Not recommended, but
And I'm pretty sure infection would get you before anything else.
yeah, yeah. Your body would likely stop bleeding by itself or with pressure, and and I'm not saying like guys, look, like nobody wants to get, nobody wants to take a shot, right? And if you do take a shot,
No.
seek some form of medical attention right away. But
Yeah.
gut shots are survivable, right? And nut shots, shots in thighs, and those are very dangerous.
It's
But
where your femoral arteries are.
you know, you just you can't completely immobilize yourself in preparation for a fight, right? Like the most you can do is cover your most significant pieces of yourself, your vitals, and stay mobile enough to where you can, you know, have enough violence of action to stop or slow down an enemy in conflict. And that's why the plates are the way that they are, because when you're in an engagement, right? If you're walking this way and all of a sudden, there's contact on your left, then you're turning and you're squaring up with a target, and you're raising your rifle and you are facing the target, right? Most people couldn't shoot a 10 by 12 spot on purpose, right? But if they're aiming at you, it's just preventing you from getting hit in a very quickly, you know, fatal area. That's it. That's all that it is. A lot of people say that they would choose to roll without plates because they want to be mobile. They want to be able to crawl through holes and jump fences more easily, and they think they're faster and whatever. I personally, I'm gonna rock plates if I can.
Oh
You
yeah.
know. Yep,
See,
Clint
what I
Clay.
want to do
Clint in the
is
day.
oh, yo, yeah, no, for sure. I want to get like FUPA plate, bro. The FUPA plate and the COD piece, the tactical armored NIJ level 4 COD piece, the multi-hit one. I don't
So
know if that
that's
exists, but it'd be sick.
it actually does. There is it's usually like level 3A armor, but it is a I believe it's called a groin guard or girdle or something like that, and it's a flappy piece, and it does protect your junk, but it's typically going to protect your junk from like 22 to 44 Magnum. It'll be soft armor, and it would likely slow you down more than it would help you. If you're going to get shot in the dick with a rifle from 500 yards away, you're going to get shot in the dick. It is what it is. It's your time to go.
Tactical briefs. Those look pretty cool. I don't know if those are NIJ rated or anything like that, but oh,
You that's why you train failure drills. Yeah, so a failure drill or the Mozambique drill, that is very important, even with pistol and with rifle, because the purpose of it is the failure drill is two in the chest, like two in the sternum, one in the head, and that came from shooting enemies that they found out after two shots to the chest. They were wearing body armor, so just to play it safe, you could train boom, boom, boom. If the two shots fail, your one headshot is going to be fatal. Groin shots are game stoppers. Like if you send a 5.56 round at 2,300 feet per second, blowing through somebody's baby maker, they're going to be out of the game for a minute, and then all their buddies are going to flock to them. So, saying, it'd be helpful.
oh yeah. I would feel like you would have to go like I'll take any armor that I can, especially for my nether regions, right? I'll take anything that I can get, even if it is level 3A or whatever. But I mean, I would say like nobody is aiming straight for there. Now they would have to be either just they would have to hate your guts, or that's literally the only open place to be that isn't like armored, right? Or like if you're standing still and you're like straight up on them and you're like, all right, well I'll shoot for his fupa or something, and then it hits low or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I'd rather have, and if you're going up against somebody with what, well, never mind, because if you're already wearing rifle plates, then you're expecting rifle threats, so it doesn't really matter. Because I was about to say, if you're going up with somebody with a 338 Lapua, then I mean you're already kind of boned at that point.
Yeah.
How'd you get yourself in that situation?
Well, and I mean, honestly, like that's kind of the beautiful thing about like rifle plates is that like if you come into contact, with a handgun, you're still safe. And I've shared this several times, so some of you guys are going to be like, "Oh, we know, Dark, we know your setup, okay." But what I did is for me, covering a 10 by 12 area was like that's helpful, but I want more coverage because it is most likely for you to run into a handgun exchange than a reflay exchange. If you are running into a reflay exchange, it's going to be an AR or an AK or a 22 or something like that, like the most common, or shotgun, right? So Gertchop mentioned shotguns. I'm going to come back to shotguns in a moment. 86% of the well, actually, fuck it, statistics don't matter. Whatever. Okay, so as far as handguns go, your the coverage, you're more likely to run into a handgun situation, right? So sorry, I got totally sidetracked. So for me, I was like, okay, well, obviously my level 4 plates are going to stop handgun rounds, but what else can I do to kind of expand the coverage? So I bought a level 3A, a soft bulletproof vest. I took out those inserts. I shoved those inserts in behind the level 4 plates. So not only do I have the 10 by 12 coverage, but I have full coverage that goes side from my side
Oh, you got the cummerbunds?
all the way up here. Well, in addition to that, so my plate carrier is a little bit different to where it is the shape of a traditional bulletproof vest. So I can shove, because a traditional vest is like this, then it has the two sides, right, front and back. So I slid those in there, and then they have cummerbunds on the outside. So I put the level 4 plates, and then I have level 3A full coverage soft armor front and back, and then I took double stack cummerbund protection. So this is a 5 by 10.5 piece of I don't want to show the company because they're like in my hometown.
Nice.
Their cummerbund protection. I have 2 of them on each side, right? So I already have the side protection that kind of touches, it meets on this side, and then I have 2 of these double stacked on the side because I didn't want hard plates on the side because they're so obnoxious when moving, sitting, running, jumping a fence, and they add so much weight. So I was like, if I have 2 of these on the side and I have the 3A soft armor behind each side, there's 3 layers of level 3A. It's not going to stop a rifle round, but you're most likely to be shot at on the side. In my opinion, I was thinking, my logic was, if I'm being shot at from the side, then I'm most likely like sitting in a vehicle or sitting in some type, like behind a barrier of some sort, because otherwise I'm going to be transitioning to the target and shooting with my 10 by 12 area facing the wherever the firing is coming from. So if I'm in a vehicle and somebody is dumping a 30-round mag from an AR like on my door, then I'm just hoping that maybe all the 3 layers of level 3A will stop shrapnel and broken 5.56 rounds. But I don't know. It's what I did at the time. It may not be the best choice, but whatever. It's what I did.
See, what I would want is on my Ranger, I want to arm. Ooh, that's nice. So on my Ranger, I want to armor it. I want to armor plate it, or whatever. Like I want to get an armored, I want to get a Toyota Helix. I want a Helix so bad.
Nice.
Those things are freaking cool. I want a Toyota Helix, and I want to just armor plate that bad boy. I don't really care how much it'll cost, but it's something that I definitely have to do like piece by piece. But that being said, it's just kind of one of those things where it's like nobody expects to be shot at, but if you are shot at for whatever reason, you'll be glad that you spent the couple $100s for the level 4 panel plates or whatever. And also my thing is that I'm also kind of talking myself out of getting like bulletproof glass for the car door sides, or even the windshield, because let's say, dude, my biggest fear is that I'll be driving over a bridge or some body of water, and have you ever seen what a car looks like, or like a truck what it looks like whenever it's taking on water?
Yeah.
Because the whole cabin will literally just fill up, and then it flips, and now you're upside down, and then it fills up, and then it flips up over again once it's all the way full, and it's throwing you around. Now my thing is I don't really care, because if I have to shoot a window out, it's like, okay, it's all gonna bust up. So you just bang passenger, bang yours, you go bang bang, and then you're like, okay, cool, now we just jump out. But if that's bulletproof glass,
for a second I thought you were saying bang passenger, bang.
it's like, well, no, that's if you have the bulletproof glass. It's like, well, door's not opening, sorry, bang.
Yeah, right. yeah, dude. There are benefits to having an armored vehicle or a vehicle that is, enhanced. Not like Killdozer style, but enhanced. But there are a lot of downsides to an armored vehicle because, like you're mentioning, traditional armored glass, you can't roll that bitch down. right? Like that shit is literally the entire door panel, including the glass. Like that shit is in there. There are some newer armored cars where you can actually roll down the glass. I don't know enough about them. Apparently, the entire door, the door frame, like all that shit is replaced,
Mm.
and they like layer them to where there's no like seal. There's no place where like rounds can slip through. But it's just yes, it would be dope, but I think there would be so much other shit that I would buy before armoring a vehicle.
Oh
And
yeah.
Gerchop actually did bring up a good point. He had said like lateral chest wounds, or like so like if you get hit from the side, right? If you're shouldering a rifle, this is opening up that area. I mean, that is going to blow through your vitals,
Mm.
like that. Or what happens? What has happened a lot of the times for like a lot of like GWAT guys that were killed over the last 20 years in Afghanistan, Iraq, Kuwait, and all over the Middle East is they would get shot through their arm, and it would go into their vitals. You know, because like
Mm.
that's like a high power rifle round, like a 7.62 by 54R or 7.62 by 39 or 5.56 or whatever, it's going to buzz through your arm pretty quickly, and it's going right in. If you're sideways, it's going right into to your vitals. And Gerchop, now I drive a relatively new sedan. It is not a Metro hatchback or whatever you say. A
I know
Geo
Demo Ranch.
Metro.
Yeah,
Wow.
Demo Ranch had a Suburban, I think, that was armored, and
Yeah.
the
And
company
it's
had just given it to him to like shoot it or whatever.
yeah, bro. I'm like, dude, if somebody was like, yo, Dark, here is a fully armored, like a level 4 Suburban. Here you go. I'd be like, thank you. Drive it home, park it, and then just think of all the
All the
advantages
goon
I have.
stuff you could do with it.
Yeah, right. Like
It's
I
like
wouldn't be like, this is content. Let me shoot it.
I think they gave it to him specifically to shoot it. I know there was a thing right there, but um,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
They definitely gave it to him to shoot. I just like, I don't know, man. I would have such. So there, not too far away from where I grew up, there was a company that built armored vehicles, and to get to my job, I would drive past their shop all the time, and I would see all these like crazy ass armored vehicles. Like I don't even know how to explain them. Like think of like all-terrain armored vehicles that look like quads on steroids that are like 4 times. They're like those desert dune buggies that are like 4 times those size, but they're fully fucking armored. Like, hold on, let me see if I can pull up some pictures. Hold
You know what armored vehicle I would want now that I think about it?
on.
You ever seen a Chevy Love?
Mm.
A Chevy LUV. It's discontinued, I think, because it didn't really
Oh
do
yeah,
that well. It's a light utility vehicle. It's one of the small trucks. And looking at it, like next to actual people, it is a lot smaller than I thought. Like holy cow! I want an armored one of those with like a Gen 1 LS turbocharged, no supercharged. I think be freaking cool.
yeah, that'd be pretty
Ah,
cool.
dude, these freaking
Armored.
Chevy Loves, dude. I'll love them.
Let me see ATV. Okay, so I'm on Google, so it sucks, but I'll pull these up.
Oh no, an armored. If I could have anything that would be armored, I think what would be the most hilarious would be a like an armored roll or an armored Rolls Royce.
Oh hell yeah! So they kind of look like this thing here. Some of them had like spots for a gunner, like turrets up top. Yeah, like that is a turret up there. I don't know why his
Okay.
front.
Okay. Now looking at this dark, would you consider this ATV to be a technical?
Uh, I mean,
Are you a tech? Where do you stand on the technical purist versus fundamentalist chart?
okay,
Hold on, let me see.
so that's a good question. So I think it's important to first discuss the purpose of a technical. The purpose of a technical is to arrive on scene and to lay down as much hate as possible on certain areas and for everyone in the truck to not go home. Like it's not meant for them to survive, it's meant for them to kill. You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah.
really you're looking at like a tripod freaking bolted down to the back of a goddamn truck with zero protection, aside from a machine gun in front of your face.
So I
So
just added you on Discord. I don't know if you want to open that in a tab and then show it. Where do you stand uh, on the technical alignment chart? It's in general. You
is
want to
there
right
are
click
you
that and
asking?
then yeah, and then open
Oh,
it in new tab or open link.
and to redo well it's a bunch of fucking bullshit to explain, but I may not be able to log in. Let me see.
Oh wait, are you not on let me see. Oh, I gotta open it. Let me see.
No, I am on Discord, but I always go in on my phone.
Let me see. Share.
Was it in messages or oh Plusteek Geeks? Okay. Okay.
All right, yeah, this right here. I got it pulled up.
Oh, okay.
All right, so where do you stand on the technical alignment chart?
Jeez. Okay, hang on.
Yeah, here we go.
There we go. It's a little bigger. Structural purist.
Yeah, so it's like, what do you think is more important? Do you think it's like what it's used for or what it physically is, right?
Yeah, I mean, so I'm not like a total purist that it absolutely has to be like the Helix with with the
With a gun on the back.
RPD. Yeah. I think they typically use like RPDs and 50s and shit like that, but I don't know for sure. Um, hold on. Sorry. Um, so I guess the way I look at it is like as long as it serves the function of being able to roll up, handle most terrains, and lay down as much hate as possible, then I'm all for it. So it could
So
be,
you would fall literally anywhere from like middle point up, left, and anywhere in these categories. Do you think the Batmobile is a technical?
it probably shouldn't be, but I know
Or
that,
are you like legally it is?
well, so it probably already has so many goddamn tricks up its sleeve that it's probably good to go right out of the gate. Um, Killdozer was not a technical, but it was a tragedy. Yeah, a tragedy that he died. Um, yeah, I mean, I'd say definitely neutral. Anything that can roll up, handle most terrains, lay down hate, and that you can, scream in Kurdish. Or, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, something like that. Like that. I'm good with that. What's up,
So
Frank?
you would agree that this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one are uh are technicals because all this is it's literally just a tank and then it just has a machine gun on the back. I would argue that that's just a tank, or
Yeah,
maybe
I
that,
would
or I've just
say,
played too much Halo. Because tanks always, like the Scorpion always has the cannon and the machine gun on it. But
Yeah, I would say that's not a technical. When I think of the technical, I think of a pickup truck with a machine gun bolted down to it, and that's it. You know,
that is a technical.
that's technical. That's daddy technical.
Oh, dude, I want to turn my Ranger into a technical.
Bro, do it up, man.
Right,
I mean,
uh,
you could technically get like oh, hold on.
bro, take this thing right here. Actually, no, I got the crew cab. Imagine, bro, just one of these with a technical.
You could do it. I could see that.
Oh, come on. There's not one with a machine gun on the back of it. That's a crime. Nobody's done that yet.
Type in Ford Ranger technical.
It's probably gonna be one of the old ones.
That's all right.
Oh, dude, oh, this is freaking sick, dude.
Dude.
Oh, I love this. Oh no, this is one of the new ones. This is one of the new ones because of that. It looks like a fish. These new Ford Rangers, I think, look like salmon.
Dang,
but
that's pretty crazy.
It's called the Trigger, the Ford Ranger Trigger. Can I buy this? I want to buy this. I want one.
I'm gonna guess the machine gun is not included.
That's kind of cool, I think. But
yeah, you gotta have like, I mean, look, you do have to be able to handle most terrains, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you also have to be able to, in this day and age, get some average fuel
efficiency. Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing is what gun are you going to mount on it? And I don't think the actual truck matters as much as long as you're still, achieving. God, we're gonna have so many like federal agents watching after this conversation.
See, what I never really understood is that as far as so would putting a gun on your truck, like mounting it, right? Would that count as transporting it? Or would that be considered brandishing? I think it would lean more towards brandishing because it's outside the truck.
It depends how it is affixed. If it is literally on a mount, like a tripod mount, like a technical, they may say that's brandishing. If your buddy is back there with his thumbs on the butterfly, yeah, it'd probably definitely be brandishing.
Got his thumbs on the spades.
Yeah, like, but I mean, honestly, like, I think you could get away with it in most places. And I think you could honestly, like, so I don't personally see the value of this, but you could put something like a semi-auto,
What if it's a registered machine gun? If it's a company truck. It's a company truck. It's the 0702. The company's got their 0702.
Yeah.
And it's the company vehicle.
Put a dealer sample 240 Bravo on that thing.
Dude,
that would be
that's freaking sick.
308
I like that.
Oh man.
Oh, no, I want to do an AR-10 with a Yankee Boogle or with a Choosy Express in it. And this is still under the context of a company SOT firearm, right?
Of course, totally legal.
Mobile dealer sample.
Yeah. So, actually, that's true. Well, it would depend. I guess we don't need to get into law, but interesting thing. Oh fuck! What were we talking about? Damn, I was gonna say something.
I don't need sleep. I need a technical.
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, like I don't personally see the value of like the semi-auto 249s or like anything like that. So you got to go full machine gun, especially if you think about it. If you're putting this shit on like a $30,000-$40,000 truck, I mean, then why not buy a $25,000 machine gun?
Yeah.
Lower and build it out. But I did want to let you know. Did you see the episode recently with me and Zip talking about the development idea that I came up with?
Ooh, no, I have not. What about it?
So we have officially um, come up with an idea to. Is it okay if I take this down?
Yeah, sure.
So we have come up with an idea to develop this. I was talking with Zip, and I was like, "Man, I got some development ideas, like four." And he was like, "All right, hit me with them." And I was like, "Well, one of them is like a scaled down. I thought it was Bradley that made the miniguns, but I think it's somebody else. But it's a scaled down minigun to be about the size of a small to medium chainsaw that
Okay.
is a Gatling gun, so it has a literal fucking crank on
Oh,
it.
so it's a crank. Okay.
Yep. So it's a crank. It's completely legal. It is technically legally semi-auto, but you could dump like 12 rounds in 1 second from it,
Mm-hmm.
and it would basically be a small to medium chainsaw size 22 with 6 rotating barrels. Everything is printed. The barrels are printed. They use barrel liners. It would use a 1022 receiver inside. I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll put more than one 1022 receiver inside. So I'm not sure about that yet. But
Yeah, see, that's what I was about to say. That somebody on YouTube, I think it was back in 2012 or 2013, they built. I'll have to find it. It was like looks like a little Jack in the Box, and it has a little crank on it. And he said that it was built off of a Ruger 1022 thing, and how it has. Now that was back when Gatling triggers were still legal, because he put a Gatling trigger in there, and
so
not different barrels.
there's a couple things I was thinking that the crank, we could set it up to have like two floating dowels on it,
Mm-hmm.
which would be like kind of close to maybe not okay. I got to look into it. But the thing is like getting the timing down like perfectly. Like I told Zip,
That
I
would be
was like,
hard.
yeah, like it's so the gears, the gear ratios, especially with a 3D printed housing that like could warp, it could like whatever. But we're basically going to copy. Well, an idea is to copy the AR 180, um, which is a 22 cal machine gun. Uh,
Mm.
Copy that magazine, have Danny Meatball make a 180 round magazine, and you can also run it off of standard Ruger 1022 magazines that would actually be jammed in an area in the back that looks like the typical handles that are on them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It would kind of be like a
Like a
hollow
feeding
housing.
mechanism into it.
You can feed the magazine, and the receiver would be upside down. So we're kind of like running through this, but dude, Zip was like, "Bro, I am 100% game. I will make this work." Because initially, I was like, here's my thoughts. You could either make the barrels like, make one barrel, and then have six like 44 cal size barrels rolling around. So the
Mm-hmm.
rounds are going through them, but they're not actually the barrels, right? They're kind of just shrouds. And that's option one. Option two would be the 6 barrels are actually 22 cal printed and lined barrels. But dude, there's so many things we can do. We can actually, by messing with the gear ratios from the crank to the spindle of
Actual
the
barrels.
barrels, you can spin the barrels so much faster by just messing with the gear ratios to where like that's how we kind of got to like the 12 rounds a second kind of thing. It's crazy, dude. It's gonna be like your hand, like through one slow crank, you'll be able to go through 12 rounds. like it's gonna be nuts, man. And we're gonna have in the pack a 3D printed because the ejection port is gonna have to be outside of the back of the gun, which is gonna be like the receiver, and then you got like the
The chainsaw.
yeah, chainsaw grip with a I don't know. So I'm toying with the idea of doing one of the dong, the penis shaped grip.
Yeah,
But instead
the
of having
Romanian
it back
dong.
here with the chainsaw grip, actually saying fuck that and pushing the dick grip forward, right? So that way you can brace the whole thing like under your arm and then crank it like that. But it's going to have a 3D printed um, tripod, a 3D printed um, shell catcher.
Oh, I got an idea. Let me see. Um,
Everything is going to be printed that can be printed. We may
have
even be able
you?
to do a 3D printed, obviously a 3D printed 1022 receiver and a 3D
Yeah.
printed bolt, or a DIY bolt as well. Start printing that shit. We're working on it, man. It's gonna take a little while to develop that shit, but Zip is working on it for real.
Let's see.
You know, there's one person that I definitely want developing that shit or leading the development of that shit. It's
This right
gonna
here.
have
So you know how with metal detectors, how they have that little U shape where
yeah,
you put your arm in
an
and grab
actual
it?
brace.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you mean actual brace? What are you talking about actual
I'm just,
brace?
that's
You
the
make that
company name.
sound, make it
That,
sound like these aren't real braces.
oh no,
Dark,
no,
these
no,
are
no,
real
no,
braces.
no. The brand, the company that makes the braces are called actual braces.
Dude, that would be a pretty good name. Like, dude, I just want to make my own brand of brace, print it off, and then call it that. It's like actual brace,
Do it
because
that
whatever
way.
isn't actual like a thing that people say in the military. Something
Yeah,
actual.
yeah. It's um so like you'll see people's names and shit kind of based off of shit like that. Like there was this one guy. If you're still out there, brother, I miss you, love you, hope you're doing well. His username was Letterbomb Actual,
Hmm.
and like and shit like that. But yes, yeah.
But
So you're
I
saying
don't know.
have a retard crutch brace?
Yes.
Here. Have a U-shaped brace on it and the dong dick grip, right? And then
Yes.
you're waka 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 like that.
So when
Okay.
you hold it, is it going to be front heavy or is it going to be back heavy?
It's probably going to be pretty well balanced.
Okay. Well, in that case, then the brace would probably just be better. Because if you're
Yeah,
going to hold it with one hand and crank with the other, it would probably best to have something to, have like another point of contact.
yeah,
And maybe you could put a strap over it just to tighten it down.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Dude,
To make
it
it so
would
you
legally
can't
be
drop it.
it would legally be a pistol, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Sweet.
It
Okay, so
depends.
here
It depends. If we can work it out to keep it to a small enough package and like get the barrels to 16 inches, that would be dope. Because the ballistics on a 22 out of 16 inches, woo, that shit would be fire.
it's booking it.
Yeah,
It's booking it.
especially like if you're running like a factory 1022. Like I know, come out on PLA said that Haywood is doing the bolt now. Yeah, and I've been following that, and I know that like there are options to do like DIY 1022 bolts and shit like that. But let's just say that you took a 1022 receiver, right, and you used that like a factory 1022 receiver. I mean, first off, you can run the dog shit out of those things, and they're probably the most reliable 1022 semi-auto out there. You can open up the box that the guts are in, the gears,
Mhm.
the gun, and all that. so you can open it up and address any malfunction, charging it. Like there will be a way to charge it from the outside too, but it's dude. I mean, think about this. Like you're gonna be able to have a 22 with spinning freaking 6 barrels on that thing, and just go and just blowing rounds out of that thing legally.
Yeah.
It's gonna be sick.
Dude, I think oh man, what was I gonna say? The guy who did that, I don't remember if I think it was built off of a 1022 receiver, but I also think it took a Glock mag or whatever. I can find the video. I don't want to play it on here because it'll probably get copyright strike.
So there is Tippmann made a 6 or 7 or 8 barrel 9mm Gatling gun that took
like it has wheels on it and a crank.
Yep.
Yeah, Kentucky Ballistics had one of those, and he put a drum mag in there.
Yep. They and honestly, that's something I threw out to Zip too. I was like, look, to make this a little bit more of a formidable like defense gun, 9mm is not out of the question, right? Like if it could be done more easily, if whatever, it would be an improvement for sure, and it would increase reliability a great deal as well. To be having a 9mm system in there as opposed to a 22. But having a mostly 3D printed system for something like that it's just going to be so dope. And there's something else that I gave him too that is going to be a dope idea. I just can't talk about it yet.
Yeah. Holding out on us.
Yeah, I know I'm holding out. Because we weren't even gonna like bring it up, but I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna go all out and tell the world before we even have it developed. Because the reality is that like I just want the community to have it. I want the community to have access to it. So if somebody runs out and goes and builds this shit and beats us to the punch, fucking awesome, man. Good for you. Like you deserve it. You earned it. And
dude, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and that means the community gets it sooner too. So.
Yeah. Dude, I know I already told you about this, but I don't know, a lot of other people in the chat don't know this, but the reason I don't hardly ever wear glasses. I usually stick to my contacts. But the reason I'm wearing glasses today is that yesterday I had a little pseudo surgery. Yeah, a little pseudo surgery going on because I had this I had a chalazion on my eyelid, and it was just kind of aggravating me. So I went there to the eye doctor like a month or two ago, and I was like, hey, can you guys like get rid of this? Can you guys like cut this out? And they're like, we don't have to cut it out. You guys, like, you can just take this antibiotic and it'll probably go away. And I was like, okay, cool. So I went to the pharmacy and picked it up, and it was like $8. Awesome. And so I took that for about a month, and they were like, yeah, see us in a month. And then a month passed, and then I went back, and they were like, yeah, hey, is it still there? And I was like, yeah, can we just cut this out? And he's like, and they're like, dude, it looks like it's gotten smaller. And I'm like, yeah, it probably has. And then and then they were like, okay, we'll just do another round of antibiotics, and then also like massage, and then heat pack it. And then I did. And then cut to yesterday when I went back, and I was like, yeah, hey, anyways, I know we've been going back and forth with like antibiotics and all this other stuff. I said, can we just cut it out like today? And the dude looks at me and he goes, sure, okay. And then
like right now.
Yeah, and then he numbing. Yeah, then he put some numbing drops in my eye, and then he left the eyelid to numb for a little bit. And then they had this really weird thing where they like clamped my eyelid and they flipped it back. And then I felt a little bit of cutting going on, and then they had removed a whole bunch of gunk or whatever that had been in there. And then he cauterized it. He cauterized the cut, which is pretty cool.
Ooh, did you
it's
feel
like
it?
A soldering iron. Oh no, I was totally numbed. I could smell it though. I could hear it. It was like.
Yeah, that's.
And I'm like, and I said, oh, so this is what Vietnam smells like.
Oh, did you say that?
Yeah, I did. Well, because here's the deal. The guy was kind of older, and he was pretty cool. I talked to him a couple of times before, and he kind of was like, it's what napalm smells like. And then I wanted to make a joke like, yeah, napalm sticks to kids, like federal agents put napalm on kids or whatever.
Wow.
I was
Wow.
gonna make a Waco joke, but I decided that it would probably, be a little weird.
Yeah,
I was
you
wearing
never
this hat though.
know.
I was wearing the same hat. I don't really think he cared, but yeah, no. So the inside of my eyelid is like cauterized.
Yeah.
There wasn't that big of a cut or anything, but if I look to the right in this eye and I blink, it kind of
Mhm.
hurts a little bit. Not like it's like a you ever got sand in your eye?
Yeah, yeah. It's
Like
just
a
kind of like
single
that.
grain of sand.
Yeah, yeah, like
Yeah.
kind of like cutting almost.
It's like when you get an eyelash in your eye and it like hurts, but it's not like a pain hurt. It's just like a
Yeah,
oh, there's something on
like
my eye.
like an annoyance, like a scratch.
It's annoying, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's what it feels like. So I'm just gonna wait for that to go away. They also the guy was like, oh yeah, hey, anyways, bro, your skin's looking kind of looking kind of ashy. To not have dry red skin, and I was like, what? And he was talking about this
The
because
rosacea.
recently my skin had gotten like dry,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, hey, do you want me to like give you some stuff for that? And I was like, yeah, sure, okay. And I went and I picked up this stuff, and it was like $30, I think. And I'm like, all right, well, whatever. And I put some on, and it was immediately less red, and so I'm pretty hyped about that. I got that and some eye drops, but the bump's gone, and it's gone, and it was
Yeah.
well worth it, I think. So I'm
So
feeling pretty good about that.
so the glasses are for what, to have less strain on your eye?
Nah, it was just because I can't wear my contacts in this eye because if I would blink, then it would just throw the contact out.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And there's really no point in wearing one contact because that's just stupid and it
Yeah.
is really
Yeah.
weird
Yeah.
because everything looks sharp, but it's got a blur around it,
Yeah.
which
You would
is,
look like a
ugh.
pirate, like walking around like that. It
I
wouldn't
mean,
be
like
good.
you don't really squint one eye whenever you have one contact in
Really?
because now, I mean, what I used to do when I used to sleep in my contacts, don't sleep in your contacts.
Don't sleep
Um,
one.
yeah, don't sleep in them. Um, I have a keratitis story if you want me to tell you that later. But
He said, "Why are
uh,
you wearing body armor if you are worried about all that shit?"
because it's America and I can do whatever I want. But
Yeah.
anyways,
I get it.
I was like, oh, what is it? So there have been days where I've worn just one contact.
Mm,
I guess because it just fell out because I was asleep in them for so long, and they just do that. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
also,
Um,
don't do.
yeah, it's not bad. You can drive and stuff. Like it's totally fine to do that.
But
It's
to
just
sleep in your
aggravating.
contacts, like if somebody sleeps in their contacts, like you have to like have like a pillow, right? And then like you have to kind of like adjust your head on the pillow, and then like close your eyes and fall asleep with contacts in your eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or
Mm.
maybe you flip the pillow over like to get the cold side, right? And then like you position yourself again and like close your eyes with with contacts inside your eyes, right? Kind of like that, like, but you need a pillow to do it.
Do do you sleep on your back or do you sleep on your side?
Yes,
Same, honestly. I'll
yeah,
try to go to sleep when I fall back like this, and then I'll wake up
twisted
and
up
I'm just
like a
oh yeah,
fetus,
I'm twisted up like a pretzel.
dude.
But I
Honestly,
sleep good though.
I do I do usually sleep the entire night on my back, but if I switch over to another position, it's my side.
Mm.
Or a pillow. Okay, so here's the deal on that. So I'm putting in the chat right now this store. So I went on to actually close this store. It was a store that we tried to close forever ago. It's got like the glowy, the DLD hoodie, the DLD shirt. It's got is it the PW? No, not the PWEDC shirt. That's a different one. Oh, it'll be back. They always come back. And the was it your mic?
Mabi. No, I was like, oh, I want to go to this website on my other screen, so I highlighted it and then right clicked, and I thought, and it said open link in new tab, and I was like, okay, click, and then it took me to the website, and I was like, that was stupid.
That's funny. Gerchop, please stop talking about meth. What's up, Bending Ballistics? Good to see you, man. Barry McCalkiner, great to see you. So I was gonna close the store. The store has like DLD hoodie, and it's got the glowy pillow and some other things. It's got a glowy, DLD shirt and some other stuff. I can't recall offhand everything on there, but I went on to close it, and I was like, man, I realized that the only merch that like I had, like of our own merch, was the one semi-auto keycard shirt. So I was like, you know what? Oh, that's the other thing on there, the semi-auto keycard shirt, because it's a troll. It's great, but this is also a troll. So this was the inception of this came from the whole world talking about the whole My Pillow guy, and the whole like Tim Pool was like, well, we need our own pillow too, right? And everyone's like, well, we have a pillow too. I want a pillow too. And everyone's like, we're gonna make a pillow. I was like, you know what? Yo, Sport Brand, I want you to make a pillow, but I don't want it to be like a stupid like pillow, that's just like white. I want you to make a pillow. And he designed this, which is half woodland camo with glowies on it, where the eye is the Kim light, obviously. And then the other half is Ameriflage, or American flags. It says glowies with the Kim light in it. And it's flippable. So if you drool on this side, you can just flip to that side. Or if you drool on this side, it's camouflage. So you don't even got to worry about it, it'll hide it, So that's on there, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna order this shit. So I ordered these things, and the store's still open. So I'll probably keep it open for like another week or so.
See, I always wanted to do my own merch, but I wasn't too sure what to do, because you always see a lot of like smaller YouTubers or content creators. They're like, hey guys, I'm opening up a store and I've invested all this money into like, and they have just a wide assortment of stuff with different logos. They got 50 different options, and I'm just like, dude, I don't like, you make it like 2 or 3 people there, and that's not me just trying to be like mean or anything. It's just like, dude, you have 1,000 subs on YouTube, and this is me talking about me, by the way. It's like, dude, like, you're probably gonna sell like 5 shirts, a hat, and you're gonna buy like 4 things from your own shop.
Bro, I mean, honestly, it is the best way to get discounted custom clothes. I'll tell you that, because you get not free, you get reduced cost samples. So I ended up paying like $30 for this hoodie and that pillow, which is like nothing. I paid a little more with shipping and whatnot, but to the person that asked, was it made in China? Guys, you know me better than that. It is absolutely 100% made in China.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Next question.
Like, I wanted to, okay, so I talked to IPS about it, because I know that he and Ralph were talking about their stickers and stuff that they made, and IPS was like, hey, just do small stuff. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Like just selling stickers and stuff, or like magnets. Dude, I do that. I got him connected with
Zach Carr with Toxic Patch Co. to do his PVC patches. I connected him in Zip as well, and he did all of his. these like were where the channel started, just doing
Mm.
patches, and these actually we did in order of 100, and there's only like 3 left, so those 3 are staying with me, and they're glow in the dark too. You could start there, but a lot of people say like, oh, I put like all this money into starting a merch shop, and like, don't do that. Like, I'll hook you up with my boy Sport Brand. He will literally sit down with you, help you like come up with like ideas, logos, refine your logo, like whatever you want, and he will show you how to open up a merch shop and put it like under your shit, and you just give him like a little something something. Um, and he's done that with a bunch of people, a bunch of creators, by the way. So
I think I
some
may need
merch,
to get in touch with him.
yeah, that's the way, because you know how much money you spend?
A lot. Oh wait, what? You don't spend any money?
Nothing.
I thought
Yeah,
there was like you had to. I thought it was like a startup cost, or at least for a domain for a website.
nope. It's there's yes, you can do it that way, um, but there's also a way to do it where there's this thing. It lives like between our 2 ears, and it's like sometimes it's awake and sometimes it's asleep, and sometimes but if you utilize that when you're doing your merch shop, and you just do a drop shipping company, then that's the way to do it. So I'll connect you with Sport Brand, if you're in here. Oh, look, Sport Brand says oh shit. um,
Because I is as cool as the whole what's I'm looking for. So anytime that you see like a 3D printed gun channel, right? Not to say that these particular creators are like bad or anything like that, but you take a look at Mr. Snow makes or PSR or Control Pew, all those guys, they all have the like the file, right? And I mean,
yeah,
like they're like that's iconic. That's not to say that that's bad or anything. It's just
yeah,
that
yeah,
when you look at that, it's like, oh, you know, it's a file with something in it, right? And
yeah,
that's what I did. My logo is just a file, and then plastic gats. So I was like, oh, that's real creative.
yeah, like
And I
Mr.
kind of wanted to do something
Snow.
different.
Yeah, a lot of people use that. Like Mr. Snow uses it. Um, Prince Shoot Repeat, like Control Pew, like a lot of them are using it. It's not bad, but
Yeah,
like
no, it's not bad.
you could have. It would be very simple for Sport Brand to sit down with you and be like, okay, here's this idea, do this.
Because that is what I kind of worked on, and I did a little bit of Photoshop to make that. I sent it to you on Discord. It's just very simple. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, AG Cast knows what's up. He says,
Yeah,
"Think
think different.
different."
Look at this guy.
Yo, bro. Matter of fact, what's up, AG Cast? By the way. AG Cast, I want to get you on the show. Only I want to get you on the show right fucking now, right now, right now.
I'm cool with that. But
So
yeah. So, anyways, I was like, I so
well, hold on,
on
real
some of
quick.
my
Sorry,
yeah.
I forgot to say one thing real quick. Um, so I want you to know that Sport Brand also designed the blue chem light, like the blue chem
Ooh.
light. That's like all of the DLD shit. So back in the day, when I would stream, the blue chem light came from a conversation about when the boog starts. We were like, okay, so we got like 1,000 of us or 2,000 of us at the time, probably 1,000 subscribers is when we started like this conversation. Like when the boog starts, how do we know to not all smoke each other? And then I was like, man, well, just throw a chem light on your plate carrier, and then we'll all know not to smoke the person wearing the chem light. And they're
I
like,
would
yeah,
imagine
bro.
that during the boog, people with plate carriers or kit and stuff, I feel like they would, for the most part, just be on the same side. You know what I mean? Like they're all
You
right.
would think
Well, I got.
so. You would think so, but there's a lot of mofo's out there with gear and kit that are not about our beliefs and ideals. But you never know. You're probably right, but I guess we'll see. And they're on your side until it's time to eat or drink water.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we'll just throw a chem light, in the plate carrier or whatever. And then they're like, yeah, but like Kim lights are like all the same colors. Everyone uses like green, yellow, red, whatever. And I was like, well, there's orange. And I was like, oh, there's also blue. And everyone's like, blue? Like, what the fuck? I've never seen a blue Kim light. And I pulled up a box of these Meprolite blue Kim lights. And I was like, yeah, dude, look, they're here. Look. And I cracked them. And it kind of became like a thing for the channel. And there was a point where when I hit 50 viewers in a stream, I would crack a blue Kim light, like, and go on a rant and like whatever. But it was like a thing. And when I hooked up the sport brand talking about doing um, a merch store, I'm sorry, you know what? He actually proactively designed all this shit, emailed it to me, and was like, yo, let me know if you want to use this shit to open up a merch store. And I was like, fuck yes, let's do it. And then, alas, here we are. So, like, that's how, like, forward-thinking and creative he is. Bending Ballistic says no, everyone has a plate carrier. Or no, everyone has a plate carrier.
I think it means not everyone has a plate carrier either.
Yeah, it's true. Not everyone has a plate carrier. I imagine most of these guys that are going to be outside during the booth are going to be wearing like those like $60
chest rigs,
airsoft vests. Yeah, like chest rigs kind of thing with like the padded right shoulder. You know, the shit you see in airsoft videos.
What's really funny is that you mentioned that. So a couple of years ago, I was really big into airsoft because me and the other baseball players, we'd go to this one guy's house because he has a bunch of land, and we would just LARP in the woods and then shoot each other and just play airsoft. And
Nice.
when I bought my stuff, I bought a whole bunch of it for like $150, and this guy. Like that's what you see here, plates aside, because I was gonna get a Slickster, I was gonna get a Faro Concept Slickster, but I mean this so this is Condor. You can see the tag right there. It says Condor. It was made by Condor and stuff. And I know that a lot of people like to clown on Condor.
Dude,
So I'm just using.
Condor.
I mean, my thing is, I don't care as long as it works and it's not going to fall apart in like a year, but I think it fits pretty good. I had to cinch up the shoulders like a lot because I'm not a broad-chested individual, but
Well, you're lucky because I had the exact opposite problem. I had to release the cummerbund to the maximum just to get in there. Then I tightened it up a bit. And
let me show you. You see,
does that have the quick release on it too?
No, it doesn't have the quick release. But do you see how much slack that there is right here?
Yep. That's not that bad.
Look at all that slack. Look at all that.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you got it positioned really well. I think it looks great. Yeah. The only thing that I find is kind of odd about your plate carrier, I think it looks great. I think Condor's come a long way. Like, if you look at my carrier, it's like the full blown like fucking like overt plate carrier. The only thing I noticed about your carrier is that it doesn't have one of these on the front.
Oh, prison wallet EDC.
Yeah. So I mean, we may have to work on that. And I mean, really, if you wanted to.
Oh, was one of those patches glowing?
Identified at night, But the cool thing about these is that it doesn't. That's so crazy. It's like lighting. You can't see me. So the it takes like real like focus lumens to make it glow. It's not just gonna glow like off of like Jesus. This goon beam. So the lights in my room are completely off right now. That's nuts, dude. Like this fucking goon beam is so ridiculous. It is 1,250 lumens and 85,000 candela.
That's a lot of candela.
Yeah, that's like Candela on Candela on Candela. And
I think
the
P80 Ralph
O-ring
is
in
putting
there,
out a new. I think P80 Ralph is putting out a new fragrance called Candela.
it's out. It's out. It's actually available right now. The
Really?
O-ring is glow in the dark too.
Ooh.
I thought that was a nice touch.
Nice.
Jesus, get off the notorious. Yeah, it's dope. Sorry, I'm all about Goonbeam, 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 Goonbeam. I did it, and I threw a Goonbeam on my Gray McCalkiner. You hit me up on Instagram and asked if I'm still up, but you're in my stream, so
Yeah, I may actually have to get in touch with either Sports Brand or whoever it was that IPS was telling me about.
for
Because I'm probably just gonna do stickers or something just to start off. Because there's no point in me opening up an entire merch shop selling like Gildan stuff. Because I know Reno May. I know we were talking about Reno May before.
yeah.
He is actually. I haven't bought any of his merch yet. I've been meaning to. Um, but he sells that like soft. What is it? You know that blue Dragerman shirt? I think I may have worn it a couple of times.
I don't know,
It's what that shirt is made of. It's just
dude.
soft. It's
That's
soft.
that's the way to go. It's Gildan. Does the tag say Gildan?
Yeah.
So Gildan is like the freaking best of the best when it comes to like merch shit, and all this shit is Gildan.
Hmm.
All the JSD shirts are Gildan as well. Um, okay,
Then
Evil
it may have been
SD.
somebody else that I was thinking of.
I'm not sure. Maybe let me know if it is. So Evil SD. So between you and I, he does have a TLR1 out that is like crazy bright, stupid bright. The problem is that because the Streamlight is like not no punk, right? Um, they will not allow somebody to use their design, their body, their shape, their patent attorneys are on freaking point. So if he were to market it as just by him selling his version of the Streamlight TLR1, even if it's slightly
Hmm.
different, but it still fits all the TLR1 gear, he's going to get sued. He's already run into some issues with it. So he doesn't have any, but if like somebody like reaching like a homie like me, I was like, yo, um, I would love to have one. It means a lot to me. It's really important. But since you can't sell them, if you were to send me a project light, and then I were to make a donation to your organization, maybe maybe, whatever. You guys get what I'm saying. Um, I'll be honest, Goombeam is bright as shit, but it feels cheap, and I'm kind of afraid it will do an O light. No, no. This is definitely not no Olay. Yeah, I've been rocking
See,
this Goonbeam for 3 months, and I've literally thrown it in buckets of water. I have sprayed it with the hose. I've thrown it on concrete. I've dropped it from 6 feet up in the air on concrete. Like I have been like beating the dog shit out of it, and it is still 100% solid. The biggest reason, sorry, plastic, just real quick. The biggest
oh no, it's fine.
reason is these it's not just about like the guts, right? Like these batteries are all his. Like these are all like you know his batteries. So you're not fucking with like bullshit like Olay battery that overheats and blows up. Now
Oh
your
well,
Goonbeam
okay. Funny
will
you mentioned that because the story of the Olight that exploded, it was the dude's fault because he was mixing and matching batteries, and they weren't the right kind of batteries you were supposed to be using, and I think they just overloaded and exploded.
don't admit to violating federal law on stream. I didn't. I didn't mention anything that violated federal law. Steve Bummer. What federal law did I mention violating? I'm actually extremely careful about anything like that. And I
Oh yeah.
always say, guys, gotta love legal loopholes. Um, yeah, I always say, guys, make sure you follow all of your federal, local, state, local laws, rules, regulations, restrictions, and sanctions, and all that stuff. Um, that was clearly said in jest. If you're referring to the Streamlight thing, that was said in jest, and it's this channel is a comedy channel, and it's all
We're
satirical.
satire. We are characters.
Yep.
Plastic Gats and DLD After Dark, we are characters and we are personalities. We are not all of the events that take place regarding the NFA or any actual gun laws that exist in real life are purely fictitious for entertainal. I'm voice jamming myself because I'm monitoring whether or not my mic's gonna do the buzz thing and I can hear myself. So it's like throwing me off. It's just jamming me. But anything relating to that is purely fictitious
He
and for
said,
entertainment only.
I'm an intellectual property law comedian as well. That's great. And Gerchop says, you can't be subscribed to Suboxone and own guns. I actually don't subscribe to Suboxone. And I think you meant prescribed Suboxone. But here's the great news. I'm actually not prescribed Suboxone. So there's a little fun fact for you. And that's also untrue.
And
If you're on Suboxone, Subutex, Subzolve, Xanax, whatever, you can't say that somebody can't own guns because they're on a mood stabilizing drug. That's untrue. So sorry.
I know that I know that in some states you can't. Oh, what? What?
Sorry, I was just saying. I apologize. I so interrupted you. Please go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I didn't hear what you were saying. So I know that whenever you fill out a 4473, it's like if you use any prohibited substances or like marijuana or whatever, then you can't. Then you don't pass. I don't think. And I know
Yeah.
that and it's like if you use marijuana, then you can't own guns. But it's like, and I may be totally wrong on that. I haven't looked into it.
No, you're
Just
right.
because I
That's what the
don't.
Form 4473 says if you're using any
Yeah.
illegal or illicit substances.
So I've also heard like if you apply for a medical marijuana card, because in Oklahoma it's only medically, it's not recreationally legal. It's only medically. So if you have a medical marijuana card, then you can't fill out a 4473 and buy guns or whatever.
Yeah.
But I've also looked it up, and somebody had told me they were like, it was on this one forum, and they were like, well, the same legal entity that looks over the medical marijuana cards isn't the same entity that is in line with the FBI, because that's like two different entities or whatever. So
Yeah.
if you lie, if you go get a medical marijuana card and you also buy a gun, apparently it's not ran in a background check or anything because the entities don't overlap. But
Yeah.
it's like you can do it because no one's really going to check you. But if you get caught having done that, there can be a lot of serious legal repercussions. But
Yeah, it depends.
unless you're Hunter Biden because he lied. He lied on his
Yes.
4473,
Yes,
but
he
nobody
lied.
cares.
Yep. And
But
then
also,
his
if you're in a
wife
state
didn't
where
actually.
it's recreationally legal, what the heck? Or if I am, let's say that I'm close to say a recreational state, and I drive to a recreational state, if I use it in that state, and I don't bring it back with me because that's illegal, if I use it in that state, does that mean that I can own guns in my state? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, so I had gone to other places in the United States where it is completely legal, and I've used marijuana in those places, but like it's so like you said, like the NICS system in Virginia doesn't. I mean, they don't do anything very well, the government here. But the systems don't always communicate. As a matter of fact, a lot of times felons go do 4473s, and which I'm totally fine with felons owning firearms. I don't give a fuck. I think every single human being that can walk the streets, as long as they have been,
Should be armed.
Yeah, they should be armed. It's, freedom is dangerous, right? That's what I always say. So that's whatever. But there have been felons that come do a 4473, get a firearm, and they get cleared for the background check because their state has not documented that they have a federal crime on their record, or neighboring states. So it is different per state. It's NICS is kind of fucked up. So the same thing with like medical shit. Like if you're on like SSRIs or like have a medical marijuana card, or like me, I'm on Subutex and a benzo, and I'm 100% lawful. Like there's no restriction from the medications that I'm on and owning firearms. I'm just giving that as an example. Somebody may say, "Oh my goodness, this gentleman's completely unstable and should not own firearms." I mean, look at him. Look at his streams. And whatever. But as far as the actual NICS system, the likelihood of it talking to each other is very slim. Virginia even fucked up and accidentally marked like 45,000 people as prohibited possessors or felons on accident. So a bunch of people went to go buy firearms, and they were deemed medically unfit to own firearms in the state of Virginia. And they were like, "Oh, whoopsies, that was an accident." So yeah. I have a question. I order G17 slide because it was cheap, but it is an ugly brown color. If I tape everything up, would I be able to spray high temp paint on it, then stove it to cure the paint? Yeah, absolutely. I use rattle cans on guns all the time. That's how I do all of my battle worn. If you want to go like a step beyond that, then go to Brownells, and I'll actually drop a link for you. There is something in Brownells called Alumahide, and Alumahide is like the next best thing to Duracoat and Cerakote. So if you go to Brownells, and by the way, that's an affiliate link. If you use that link, it'll give a little kickback to the channel. All those links that I'm dropping are affiliate links, y'all. So you could use them or not use them. There's no difference in price. It just gives a little kickback to us. But Alumahide, you can air cure it for 14 days, or you can cook it onto the gun. And I have used them for battle-worn finishes on frames. I've used them for on slides. I've used it, and that shit holds up so well. So much better than spray paint, but you can also use spray paint. And I would actually stay away from the high temp grill paint. That shit has caused nothing but problems for me in the past.
Also, this is totally kind of unrelated, but in a lot of other countries that have been disarmed for the most part, if you want to own a firearm in like Japan, in places like that, I think is one of the best examples of what I was about to bring up. So, in order to own a gun in Japan and a lot of other countries, you have to pass a shooting proficiency test.
Yep.
So, my thing is, do they give you a gun to shoot, or do you have to have your own? Or if you have to have your own, how do you have it? Because you can't get it. And also, do you pay to like, how do you practice? You know what I mean? In the U.S., if you want to practice shooting a gun, go to a range. If they don't have one you can rent and buy ammo for, then you would just buy one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I know that a lot of gun crime is low in Japan because, well, I'm pretty sure I don't know if they confiscated or not.
Well,
but
so you
also
are
Japan's
actually,
just a lot nicer of a place because the people are a lot more respectful.
their crime per capita, like their murder rate per capita, is actually pretty close to ours. I think they may have even surpassed this recently, and you are allowed to own shotguns and handguns and like 22s in Japan. You do need to do a test. I think it may be like a test, like not live shooting test. I'm not sure, but you also have to undergo a psychological evaluation, and there have been people arrested after their psychological evaluation before they were given the ability to get a firearm.
And see, my thing too, and I know AG Cassie commented, he said he did that in Japan. Sweet. So my thing is, and I could be totally wrong about the process, but I do remember that in order to own for the most, oh yeah, knife crime. I've noticed that knife crime is really big in a lot of places where people are like, at least our schools are not like Call of Duty. It's like, okay, how's your knife crime, right?
Yeah.
Uh, Cause anyways, that's I digress. But like in Japan, you have to yeah, you gotta get a written test, then you gotta take a shooting proficiency test, and then you have to do a psychological evaluation. And it's like any firearms as far as I know. You gotta have a license to get ammo and all that stuff. And also with with the whole shotgun thing, you can own a shotgun and then you have to store it properly, and then you got to pay taxes on storing it, and then you got to have it like inspected by somebody, and you got to pay to have them come and inspect to make sure that
Yeah.
you're storing it properly. And if at any point you slip up in that process, it's like, well, see ya, see ya. You're probably gonna get like arrested, or
Yeah.
they're just gonna take your gun from you,
Oh,
or whatever.
that's interesting, Corn Pop. I was under the impression that they could own handguns. I guess is
No,
that the case?
I'm
Other
pretty sure
than police?
handguns are just out of the question. But to own a rifle, semi-automatics are out of the question. But bolt actions, or I guess breakovers, are different. But you have to own a shotgun for 10 years. 10 years is the way that I know it. You have to own a shotgun for 10 years, and you can't have any slip-ups within that 10 years.
What?
And that's as far as I know. Shotguns have to be half smooth barrel, half smooth bore, half rifled too.
What?
This is the first time hearing about that, but I don't
What
know.
in the fuck? Yeah, England as well. The UK knife crime is crazy. Also, things like chemical attacks, gasoline, fire. Uh,
Van attacks where they just
yeah,
run you over.
bats. What do you call them? Like weapons of opportunity or makeshift weapons, like
Oh,
shanks,
improvised weapons.
improvised weapons. Yeah. Oh, handguns are super regulated. Pretty much only 22. Okay, so that's what I thought. I thought you could get 22 handguns, or I thought you could get more than a 22 handgun, but that's
And also, I think for some instances, you have to be part of like a shooting club. There was something I remember about that. I don't know if that's entirely true. I remember seeing something about there needing to be like a shooting club
now.
involved. Something about that.
I believe that, and I know there is like other places, other countries where that's the case. Now, plastic gas. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Now, here you are, a beautiful young man with a brand new eye, and
Yes.
you're
Or his
sitting here.
eyelid.
Yep, yep, yep. You're sitting here wearing level 4 body armor. You are in a room amongst, a good, healthy amount of firearms that you've been able to manufacture, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Also, firearms that you've purchased and, printed and things like that.
Mm.
Where do you see, if things continue the way that they have been, where do you see the future of our country with the ability of our children and grandchildren and great grandchildren and them being allowed to enjoy the same freedoms and especially their right to self preservation and self defense? Where do you see the future for the United States of America?
I think it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. It hasn't started
You heard it
yet.
here first, folks. I'm just
It's
kidding.
gonna be rough. I I think the only reason that it hasn't kicked off, despite the fact that there has been plenty reason to. Everybody, if the boog, and I know that a lot of boog boys are cringe, blah blah blah. I kind of believe that too, because a lot of them are larpers. They're all like, oh, when the boog kicks off, I'm gonna blah. It's like, shut up, okay, whatever. And a lot of them will stack up, but in the hypothetical situation that the boog does kick off, right? The citizens are finally tired of being treated as peasants by politicians who are public servants who have not done their job to serve the public, and in fact have been nothing but parasites on the human people, and they decide to do something about that. The reason that I think that it hasn't gone off yet is because nobody wants to be the first guy or gal. Nobody wants to be the first person, because after that, it gets complicated. It gets very complicated after that. But I think that for the future, it's they say that societies only last for 200 something years. Well, we've passed that point, and we're starting to hit the ceiling. And I think that tensions are growing. I think that politicians and other so-called elites should be scared, because the only thing worse than an upset population is an upset population with guns, armor, ammunition, and no way to regulate it. That's not saying there's no legislation. I'm saying you physically can't. You can't regulate that anymore.
Yeah, it's impossible. And
we're on the cusp.
Even if the majority of folks out there are unable to obtain or build firearms, how many people, like, in this type of community are out there that would literally be handing out Glock 17s on the fucking street corner, I mean, I'm not saying that everyone should be prepared to build a homeless person army. I'm just saying that, so I agree with that sentiment. And although I don't like to subscribe to the idea that we are doomed, I do just want to say that we are fucked. We're fucked. We're so fucked.
Yep.
But aside from that, I think that in our lifetime, we will likely experience a time of conflict in the streets.
Oh yeah. See, my thing is, I want in Minecraft, no, not even in Minecraft. If it does come to the point where there are armed citizens they're just fed up, not just looking to kill people in the streets, but they're looking to protest their politicians, their officials, right? And they encounter their armed security, they encounter their Gestapo. I want nothing more than those traitors to say, you know what? And they flip around and they say, you know what?
Yeah.
We're not going to defend you guys. We don't care how much you pay us. You guys are tyrants. You guys are criminals.
Yeah, money.
You guys are traitors.
I'm dead. Yeah. Yeah,
I just wish that were the case.
So, I'll tell you about something that I'm doing, and this is something that I've openly spoken about more recently than any other time. And so often, Fed post stream.
Yeah, we're Fed posting right now. Yeah, Feds, we Fed posting.
Yeah.
Keep scrolling.
That's just typical. As long as someone's not out here like, yo, Dark, can I get a frame, bro? It's probably just our people being glowies. That's the thing, right? The thing is glowies. Everyone's a Fed. Everyone's a Fed on the internet, right? So we're all glowies. So what I am doing is I'm in the process of creating something called GBAT. GBAT is an organization that there will be one in every single state, maybe more at some point, right? Maybe like a few in each state, depending on the cities and the size of the state and all that. Like, there's like one in like California. Well, it's such a massive state, like it will never work. But so GBAT is Gun Builders Against Tyranny, and what it is a protesting group. And I, like I've said something similar to this before, but I would never tell somebody to do something that I wouldn't do. So as opposed to just like telling people what to do, because I don't give advice, and if you take advice from me, you're stealing. Shout out to CRS, love you, bro. What I intend to do is to create GBAT Virginia, and GBAT Virginia is Gun Builders Against Tyranny, and what it would be is a group that goes out in full kit and protests armed against the tyrannical rules, regulations, restrictions, the letters, opinions from the ATF, and all that bullshit. And
have you ever noticed how it's always the armed protest that always goes the most like clean?
Oh yeah.
Nobody ever messes with the armed protesters.
Yeah, it's almost like there's a reason, like there's something that is keeping people from acting a fool, Yeah. Crazy. So what I picture is one day, at least one, if not more, in every single state, putting on a protest that is nationwide, that is at the same time, on the same day, everywhere in the United States. All of us standing together saying, we refuse to accept your tyrannical laws, preventing us from building firearms the way that we desire. And of course, it's two-way related, but with a focus on gun building, and because that's been attacked so much. And
I think it would be kind of funny is not to be like, oh, you guys should build NFA items and then protest. It's like I want to see what would happen if like everybody from every street corner just like flooded the streets and protested and stuff like that peacefully with their arms. If they just brought just a bunch of SBRs, SBSs, AOWs, it's like, what are you guys gonna do?
Yeah,
arrest
you gotta
us?
arrest 500 people.
If even 500, it's like, what are you gonna do? Arrest us? We have like, we've broken what law? I'm sorry, my rifle is half as short as it is supposed to be. My bad.
Yeah.
Go ahead and find me. You're gonna have to get through the crowd to get to me, idiot.
Yeah, and I've considered that too, and it's like we would do more good, outside of incarceration than inside, like for the community, for our families, and I would never tell anyone to do anything that is not in accordance with the federal and state laws, rules, regulations, restrictions, and sanctions. So make sure you guys pay attention to that. However, what I picture is that not only would all these protests be going on at the same time, at the same day, same time, organized as fuck, but there's something specific about it. Like all of them are in like plate carriers that were all like spray painted blue, or they're all wearing like blue balloons tied to their plate carrier, or they all have like pink rifles, or like something that is like so goddamn specific that there's no way that 50 news media outlets, 50 police agencies, like 50, that they can't say that they're not all highly organized, because the first thing that they would say is that, oh, there's like little spurts of people here and there that were all protesting. It was put up by see, and that's the thing. Of course they will, and I'm prepared for that. They will say that it's terrorism. They will say that it's an act of like overthrowing the government or whatever. What I am saying is for people to come together and peacefully protest only peacefully protest, and to never act violently at all.
Dude, I wish that somebody would go on national television or whatever, if they're like an organizer, right, and they're doing one of these peaceful protests, and they're like, and they're like, like they're being interviewed by like MSNBC or CNN or whatever, and then they're interviewing the guy or girl or whoever it is, and the person says, and the interviewer is like, so you're telling me that you guys showed up with all these arms and guns and all this body armor, like you guys were ready for blah blah blah, and some
Yeah.
guy and the dude would just be like, yeah, yeah, the people are pissed off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are ready for that, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I just want to see that happen because I want to see what a nationwide response to that would be. Because I
Dude.
mean, the news would probably be like, "Oh, so many people are scared of these terrorists," but like the people who just don't watch the news would be like, or the people who saw that and were like, "Yeah, I'm pissed off. I'm glad." It would be a start if people were like, "Well, shoot, at least he's doing it, not me. Better him
Yeah.
than me." At least that's a start, because at
Dude,
least they're kind of accepting the point of
I'm with you. It's
protest.
like there has to be some type of fucking action taken, like something, right? I like the other day, fuck it, I don't care. The other day, I was so pissed off, and not like pissed off like I'm gonna do something about it. I mean, like pissed off like God, give me guidance. Like, what direction can I go in a peaceful way that would like shine a light or like bring attention to these things that we're talking about like all the time on these streams, like our god-given rights,
Oh,
right?
God has already given me guidance, and it's pronounced Hollow Sun.
Yeah. Hollow suns are magnificent pieces
Yeah,
of
they're pretty cool.
equipment.
I don't know. I just want one guy to just be like, you know what? Yeah, yeah, we are ready to do this. It's like, don't
So,
push us. Look at us. You know how many there are? You know how many? The streets are full, right?
you know how
It's
many
like,
knees there are?
it's like, go ahead and piss us off. There's a lot of people just like me out there. They got plates. They got guns. Dude, they're ready. They're ready for you to push them. Like, go
So
ahead. We'll stand out here as long as it takes. It's like, do it.
the other
See what
day
happens.
I called a friend that all of you guys know, have
Mm.
seen, well, that all of you guys have seen before on streams and shit. And I was like, dude, I'm so pissed that the only thing I can think of to do is to peacefully protest. And I am about this close to throwing on full kit, rifle, sidearm, backup gun, plate carrier, camelback, like 5 battery backup chargers, fucking cell phone attachment on my Molly on my plate carrier, and just go fucking walk, and just walk and march with a sign on the front of me that says like GayTF with a red circle and line through it, and just walk. And obviously, it's going to get a lot of fucking attention, and then police will be called, and then obviously, I'm just going to say, I'm just marching, I'm peacefully protesting. I'm marching and just keep it moving, right? Obviously, being completely legal, I would likely, hopefully, be allowed to continue. Then it would garner more attention and more attention. And who knows? Maybe some guys would be like, fuck yeah, you know what? I'm leaving work. I know where that is. And I'm going to go and I'm going to march with them. And then maybe someone else would come and march, and someone else and someone else. And then it begins to grow. And then all of a sudden, you're like, I am not going to fucking stop walking. I am not going to stop fucking marching. I'm going to Forrest Gump this shit. And I'm going to keep fucking walking until this shit is done, because I'm fucking over it.
Oh, yeah.
And I was talked out of it.
You see, the thing that pisses me off so much is that America used to be the whole Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, and Germany was like, you did what?
Yeah.
You did what? Right? And then, like, bro, we used to be the powerhouse, right, of the world. But now we're just this sort of laughing stock, right? Because we're fighting a proxy war with Russia, like it's the Cold War, and it's like, dude, everybody's laughing at us. China is laughing at us. Russia laughing at us. Even Ukraine, they've sucked so much money from us. They're laughing at us. The politicians, they're not Americans. They're not Americans. Sure, they live here. They're parasites. They're disgusting. They're slime bags that slink along in human skin pretending to be like us. They're just
Both sides.
disgusting.
Both
I don't
sides. All
know.
sides.
They don't have our best interests in mind. They never have. They have their millions of dollars in assets, right? Don't you think it's a little strange how somebody can just be an average Joe and they spend a couple years in Congress and they're just worth millions of dollars? Why is that? Why
Yeah.
is that?
Funny how that
And
works.
and it's like lobbying, that's bribery. I tell you, if I were to pay a politician to do something in my favor, I'd go straight to jail, and they'd get a slap on the wrist. I don't care if everybody liked them. And then what else happens? Let's say I own a company. Let's say I own an energy company, an oil company, right? And they say that, oh, we're gonna make legislation that says that companies get a tax break if blah blah blah. And then if I'm this company and I say, hey, how about we do this or we don't do this? And they're like, hey, that sounds like bribery. And they're like, well, what if I gave you $2 million? And they're like, sure. And then they strike down the whatever the legislation is. And then if somebody,
Yeah.
let's say that somebody is like, you know what, I'm gonna whistleblow. That sounds like bribery. And they say, what if we make a donation to you for a couple $1 million to not do that? And they're like, okay. I don't know. That's the worst part about it, is because initially, believe it or not, I thought about becoming a politician, but like just to be the change that I wanted to see. But in the end of the day, I know what's in my heart, right? If you were offered a couple $1 million just to not vote on something or to vote on something,
Yeah.
sure, it's easy to say right now that you wouldn't do it. But if somebody walked up to you and said, here's $10 million, you could take that money and run, but you wouldn't, because you got a taste of it and you're like, well,
hmm
well, shoot, I'll just do this again. And no one's going to do anything against you because they can't. They're not in the same
Yeah.
position as you. It's just aggravating. And if that doesn't piss people off, I would hate to see what does. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to get to that point. Like,
That's
it's
what I'm
just,
saying, dude.
oh,
And you're totally on point, you're spot on. I completely agree with you. Both sides are just as fucking crooked and terrible and dirty and fucking every every single level of politics is corrupt to some degree. Even fucking the high school fucking school president, they got, something is driving them, right? Like
hmm,
I'll tell you that because of the status of our country right now, there are so many people that are quietly pissed. It is literally rotting our fucking country from the inside out. And
oh yeah.
we're sitting here at probably one of the most important times in our country's. I mean, imagine, like, think of this shit, okay? Think if we could just fucking bring like every single person that signed the Declaration of Independence and the fucking Constitution of the United States, and that wrote the fucking Federalist Papers, if we could bring them all back and say, hey guys, we're gonna have a little powwow. Do me a favor and evaluate the current state of our country. What the fuck do you think they would say?
They'd say, you had them all in one place, surrounded millions to one, and you just left. You had them all in one place and didn't do anything. I don't know. I don't know,
They'd
man.
probably be like, what the fuck have you guys been doing for the last 100 years?
They said, well, first of all, they'd probably be like, you freed the what? No, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
But like, it's so stupid that I have to sit here and say, now I don't advocate for violence, or now I'm not saying anybody should do anything like this. It's like, okay, what if I do? Okay, what
Yeah.
then? What if I think that people should do that if I don't tell people to do it? You know what I mean? Like, and it's so stupid, because that's what freedom of speech should be, right? If I should say, I wish bad things happened to powerful people. Oh, I wish it did, or I wish this thing happened. That's a lot different than me telling, hey, you people X, Y, and Z, go and do blah 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 to these people. you go do that, right? That's two different things. If I said okay, now that I think about it, what I'm about to say is probably going to get us taken off the air, and I'm probably going to visit from the Fed boys. But it's like, oh, it's just aggravating because we're so cucked. We're so cucked right now. We can't say what we actually want to say because no, we'd get raided.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
And all of our legal firearms would be taken. We'd be, the clips of this and other shit would be taken out and sent out to, made look like we're fucking bananas and all that shit. But the reality is that they would say, you guys are living in tyranny. You are completely controlled. The Second Amendment is explicit. It is extremely clear in what it says. And there are 30,000 firearm laws on the books right now. What the fuck are you guys doing? You guys are literally on the cusp of being fucking hung by your treasonous government. And of course, I'm not saying, I'm not advocating for any violence as well. Like I'm not.
There it is. There it is. It's sad that you have to say that because.
But it's truthful too. I don't want violence. I am willing to get violent. I am willing to, and I say it all the time. Like,
be capable of it.
Yeah, just be capable. Like, being meek isn't being weak. You having the ability to, be violent. You guys exercising your skills to become violent is different than being a violent person. I don't want to go to war. I don't want to fucking throw out my future and like die before my daughter is fucking 10. Like I will. I'll have no fucking problem doing it. And the same thing, like when the question is asked, like, how many more kids have to die before you're willing to give up your guns? And the answer, and I'll say it, I got it from fucking Johnny B, right? The answer is all of them. All of them have to die, including my own, for us to get to that fucking point to give up our guns. Because the moment we give up that fucking right to self-preservation, our kids are fucking dead anyway.
It's funny you say that. They all say, how many more children have to die? And it's like looking at Waco, Ruby Ridge. It's like, dude, is that a threat? And it probably is a threat. You know what I mean?
For real.
It's like, I don't know. The thing that makes me the most mad is that everybody's like, oh, we're gonna boog. Oh, we're gonna boog. We're gonna boog. It's like, okay, then do it then. Just shut up and stack up. If you're gonna do it, then just shut up.
Most people,
you know what I mean?
Honestly, man, most people are gonna shut the fuck up. They're gonna take the shot. They're gonna fucking take the microchip. We already have with fucking cell phones, but like they're gonna fucking shut their mouth, and they've never tasted fucking starvation. They've never fucking, even considered the idea of dying of thirst, and they've never fucking lived in an environment without air conditioning. They've never been in a place where they're not fucking planted in this world of consumerism and convenience where they can order any fucking thing that they want within 12 to 24 hours and have it on their fucking doorstep, getting their groceries delivered and all. Day one of the boom, you know how many people would just eat a fucking shotgun?
A lot. My thing is, I wouldn't even be so upset with the government if it wasn't as powerful as it was. Because think about it like this. If you were a company, and your employees got to dictate how much money you paid them, you'd fire them instantly. You'd fire them.
Yeah.
Because if I were a company and my constituents, or not constituents, my employees, which I have treated honestly a lot better than I should, if they all of a sudden say, hey, we're going to pay ourselves 20% more, and you say, no, you're not, because we dictate how much you get paid, and they go, no, and they just do it anyways, you're just going to be like, oh, okay, I guess. No, you would fire them, and that's what the politicians are. They're employees. They're nothing more than employees. But now it seems like they think that they run the show. I don't know, man. I'm just waiting for something crazy to happen. I don't know, man.
Well,
I don't know, man. The Fed posting is getting the best of me.
I know. It's and people are gonna say that like, oh, Dark is a Fed, and that's why he wants people to protest, and that's why he has his merch shop so he can record people's addresses, and that literally motherfuckers have said that shit. Like, god damn, this shit's crazy.
Mm.
But like, just because like I don't want violence. I don't have a desire to
Yeah, I
be
don't either.
violent and get violent, but I am absolutely willing to if it comes between me and my ability to live freely, right? And looking at like what the ATF is doing, if there was a governmental organization whose job was to monitor your religion and monitor like the way you worshiped and monitor the fucking songs that you sang and the books had to be specific length and width and all that shit and like you had like pop bys where ATF agents would pop by and fucking like double check on how your religious fucking whatever church on Sunday or the fucking mosque or whatever the fuck like
Mm.
how quickly would that shit be shut the fuck down? And how quickly would people be literally getting killed in the streets? Because it is the government stepping in and controlling your God given right, the right that is given to you by your creator, that is supposed to be guaranteed to you by the Constitution of the United States, that the motherfuckers that are encroaching on your rights took an oath to fucking defend.
Dude, it is so stupid. One of my coworkers, everybody hates him. Everybody just hates his guts because he just does. He wakes up. Unfortunately, one of the only downsides that I can think of. Actually, I was about to say something kind of sacrilegious as a joke, so I'm not going to do that.
That's all right.
But he, unfortunately, he is graced with waking up every morning and decides to use that grace to make it everybody else's problem. And so I remember we were talking. I don't even remember what we were talking about. And I said like I was talking to one of my other coworkers about like God-given rights. And then he goes, where does it say in the Bible that you can blah blah blah? And I'm like, dude, all of creation, whether you think it was by God or nature, right? Like whatever you think it is, the fact that you exist
Hmm.
exudes your right to make sure you keep existing, right?
Yeah,
Like, and
just
and, and he
simply
he said
being
something
born.
stupid. I'm like, okay, well, shut up, whatever. I don't
So
know.
that's the difficult thing is that like I feel like, and it's sad because everybody that has any view opposing ours, people that are like us of the freedom community, I'll call it, because I hate to say like the gun community because it's like that just makes guns even more taboo if it's like we have this like underground community and it's not like that like I
Mm,
say all the time it's like saying like the shovel community like it's a fucking tool
yeah.
it's tools that are used all day every day and or whatever but like I totally got lost in what I was saying but I don't even fucking know where I was going with it but yeah, I don't know. It's easy for me to get fucking amped up over this shit, man. It's so fucking frustrating. And it's like,
It's so irritating because my thing is that a lot of people keep saying that they're gonna do something, but they never have. And again, I'm not saying that anybody do anything. I'm just saying if you're gonna do it, then don't lie. Nobody likes a liar. That's all I'm saying. It's like
yeah,
either do it or shut up and stop saying you're gonna do it. It's just
yeah.
aggravating.
Oh, that's right. That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, like the uh, folks on our side, the side of freedom, so many times try to give logic, information, and evidence to people of opposing views to try to, maybe hopefully open up their eyes and show them something else. And it's met with emotional arguments that are fucking meaningless. And you have now where, like, over the last 2 years, like, people are literally fucking killing each other over political beliefs. Like, a dude was shot and killed because he was a Trumper, you know?
Mm.
A fucking, like, this shit is crazy. Look at the riots in 2020. There was actually a poll taken that said more people want there to be an investigation over the riots of 2020 than the J6 BS that's going on, which is
Yeah.
total bullshit anyway. But like, when you try to, meet people with opposing views and share information to maybe help them fucking see the other side and see that, like, no, like, I am a fucking freedom absolutist.
Mm.
And I believe X, Y, and Z because of X, Y, and Z. Here's empirical data and information and evidence. And they're like, no, my feelings tell me this. I feel this way. You can't do that. I'm a woman. I'm a man. Shit that doesn't even fucking make sense. They have taken insanity and made it the societal norm so that now the things that are enforced by society, because they sure as fuck couldn't legislate this shit, the things that are enforced by society are the things that are opposing all of our fucking views. Who's timing out Gertchow? What did he do?
No, I think he was posting porn or something. I don't know.
Gertchow, stop posting porn. It also could be done on accident. I put my phone in my pocket all the time and accidentally time people out and block people. I'm sorry if I do that. Or if you are doing it.
Dude, no way. Dark My Pillow was trending on Twitter.
Are you serious?
Yeah, let me show you.
Is it the My Pillow, the glowy pillow?
There it is.
What we need to do is meme where I was like on the glowy pillow like this. We need to meme it and put a hashtag. Somebody screenshot that. Man of the masses, where you at? There you go. I give you a solid. Let's do the freedom side. There you go. Nice. I give you guys ample time to screenshot and get My Pillow.
What did the My Pillow guy even do?
Apparently he's a conspiracy theorist, dirtbag, and a Nazi.
That's one of the worst parts too, is that you can't have critical thinking skills without somebody calling you a conspiracy theorist. And then when you say that conspiracy theorist is just a name that people give people because they think that they're crazy or whatever, they're like, yeah, just like what a conspiracy theory would say. Like they're funny. It's like, dude. And here's the worst part. It's like, say what you will about any let's take 9/11 or whatever, right? Like, I know a lot of people say that it was like an inside job, and whatever you think about that, you can go ahead. It's a long time ago. And I hardly doubt that even if it were proved that it were an inside job, nothing would happen. Nothing would happen.
I mean, it's basically come out, and there's a lot under that to unpack that, but there were like Israeli students that were like living on a floor for months, and there are pictures of them in a room filled literally floor to ceiling with boxes that are electrical fuses, and they were paramilitary because they whole bunch of weird shit. But anyway, yeah, please go on.
See, so it's like if you were to say like, oh, well, don't you think it was a little strange that, this thing happened, or that this thing happened? Or let's take the Oklahoma City bombing for a second. That one's pretty close to me, at least. It's like, let's say, I think there was somebody who said something like the news had reported that the guy worked alone, but multiple eyewitness accounts say that there was more than one person, that there was like two people. And don't you think that's kind of weird that the media would get that wrong if that were true? I don't know. It's like, if you point out little inconsistencies in a story or in an event, right? You're like, hey, I don't think that this adds up a little bit. And you don't even imply that there's any higher powers at work. everybody just thinks that you're just crazy, and then when you say I'm not crazy, I'm just looking at things that don't make sense, not even
Yeah,
implying thing. Everybody just thinks that you're crazy because I'm
yeah,
not crazy is apparently something that crazy people say.
of
It's just
course,
stupid.
of course. But dude, that's why I'm like looking at it like what action could be taken to at least get attention, but while staying peaceful, while only peacefully protesting. And that's why I came up with the whole GBAT thing because the pillow is 18 inches by 18 inches.
Hmm.
Um, so it's like, dude, I want to do something. I need to do something to show to showcase the true feelings of all the people that are silent on the other side. You know, that don't do shit, that don't take the action, that don't. And of course, what I mean by that is I want to do something that involves peacefully protesting, but growing it on a scale large enough to where they can see, oh my God, these are like groups of people across the United States that are highly organized and highly structured. And by the way, once these peaceful protests go down and they start to see and hear, like, oh my God, like, we have to stop it. We can't have hundreds of thousands of people protesting armed through the streets. This is crazy. We got to
So
stop it.
I tell you what they're gonna do. Then they're gonna use that. They're gonna say, "Oh, there were people here with machine guns or weapons
Yeah.
of war, and we need to like." Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Take January 6th. Say what you will about it, right? They had everybody surrounded. They had all of those traitors in there, powerless, and they were cowering. They were sitting down. They were covering their heads. They were crying. It was beautiful, right? And say what you will, what should have happened up to that point. I'm not going to say. You decide for yourself what should happen. But oh, that looks nice. That is nice. But
Thank
think about
you.
it like that, right? That was such a beautiful scene to see because the public servants knew they couldn't do anything. And even if they had armed security, they couldn't stop everybody. All those people
Yeah.
could have walked in there, kicked down those doors, and ripped everyone to shreds. I'm kind of glad that they didn't.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, after that, do you know what they did? They let them off. They let them off, and now they're saying, we're gonna prosecute every single one of you. And they had a big hearing, and it's like, I don't
And they had
know. That's kind
another
of the
one.
butterfly effect. That's kind of the butterfly effect. It's
They had
like
another
you
one
didn't do
today.
something, and now you're facing the repercussions of it.
They had
I don't
another
know,
one
man.
today. And you know that there are people that are still sitting in jail since that day, since
Without any
the
due
day
process, I
before
bet.
January 7th. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Even in unarmed protests, God, getting that much attention from an unarmed protest. Now, granted, that was a little bit different. It's just like a troll at this point. Like, did you hear that there was an insurrection? Oh my God, no, I didn't. What happened? A bunch of grandmas and Randys,
Walked into the
when
Capitol because the police let
yeah,
them in.
walked into the people's house, right? We the
The
people's house.
people. They're not
Mm,
people
yeah,
anymore.
BLM
That
rioters,
snakes are people.
organized.
I don't know. It's just
Yep.
ridiculous.
Yeah, he said, yet BLM rioters burning down cities bailed out by celebrities. Yep. Well, I think I'm gonna have to call it, man. I'm starting to fucking get tired of shit. I'm gonna need to pass out soon. Plastic Gats, I think
And I
this is
have a
probably the most base conversation that we've had about some real ass shit, man. And I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I'm
I got a whole lot more in me, but I know you got to sleep, so I'll let you sleep.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Um, there's just one thing that I would ask you to do. Can I get one like full-blown, loud Plastic Gats laugh for the whole crew?
So right now, there are housemates, we'll call them, and they are
Wow.
very, very close in proximity, and they also have to
Wow.
wake up pretty early because they don't have the same work schedule as me. But
That's right. Next
if you
time,
catch
maybe.
me, later tomorrow or anytime during the day, I'll be sure to
Yeah,
give you a very hearty plastic Gats laugh.
we could laugh then. We could laugh then.
Yeah.
Well, Plastic Gats, let everyone know again who you are, what you do, and where they can find you.
Well, my name is Plastic Gats. I am a YouTuber of sorts. I also have Twitter, YouTube. I don't use Instagram very often, but if you message me, I'll more than likely respond in a reasonably timely manner. That Instagram, I believe. Let me see. I got to pull it up here. Instagram is it is plastic_gats. Yeah, sure. I can chill on Discord for a little bit afterwards. That Twitter is at Plastic Gats, and my YouTube is Plastic Gats, where you can find me. I do all sorts of wacky, crazy stuff, mostly on Twitter. But I got a new YouTube channel or a new YouTube video on the 26X coming up pretty soon. So I will be on there pretty soon.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate that. And you guys know me. Tula ammo maxed is good ammo. I'm not sure I'm familiar with the maxed. But I'll take Tula. My Scorpion and some other guns I got, they'll chew up Tula all day. And Classic Arms has 1,000 rounds of Tula steel case for $259 currently. So if you guys need a link, holler at me. I don't get paid or anything off of that. Most links I don't. But if you guys are shopping for anything, chances are I know where the cheapest place to get it is. Some of them I get paid for, some of them I don't. So check with me for anything gun related, like building related, or God, I feel like I got something in my eyeball now, or anything. Chances are I have a discount code, an affiliate link, or know where the cheapest ones are. So holler at me. So I'm Dark with DLD After Dark. I have a channel that's based off of freedom and independence, with a big focus on firearms, firearm building, and of course just mainly self-preservation. And we talk about all the fuckery that the gay TF does and doesn't do, and all that stuff. So for those of you that are invaders, if you can't drop links in there, YouTube is like that. Only mods can drop links. So if you send me something or send one of the mods something, they can drop it. So I'll end the stream just how I end every other stream, which is always follow rule number 1. Wear a condom. I'm just kidding. Always follow rule number 1, which is be kind. It is so important to be kind because you never know. Your actions could have a huge impact on somebody else. And 0.24 cents a round of 9mm brass reloads. Yeah, send me that joint. Send me that joint. Send me that. Send me that.
Are they Kentucky ballistic loads?
Yeah, right.
Are they plus P?
Georgia Arms, maybe. Plus P, plus. Yeah, be kind, because you never know. Your actions could have such a big impact on somebody. It could literally make an impact on their life. So be kind. It is the cheapest investment you can make with the highest net return, no doubt. Number 2, live a life of care, compassion, and contribution. Always come from a place of giving to others. And bless others, and you'll be blessed in return. That's just the way the world works. A hand that's open to give is open to receive. Lastly, we know that, thirdly, we know that the only way for us to stop evil is for good men to be skilled in violence. So make sure that you are becoming as highly skilled in violence as you possibly can be. And lastly, be safe, be dangerous, and keep that thing on you. That's all I got. Y'all, take it easy. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate all y'all so much. Thank you. And you guys that always hit me up and offer to use my affiliate links, PayPal over money and shit to help, and it helps so much, more than you know. And for those of you that did, thank you. If you shoot any donation over to thedarkestmavis@gmail.com, I'm going to start calling those donations out, and I send patches and shit like that too. If you want a PWEDC patch, you have to get those through PayPal as well. If you want one of the pillows and shit, I posted the store back there earlier. There's a lot of shit that we have out there, but I don't actively promote it. Also, go to 1776 of 1776 supplyco.official on Instagram. Just do me this favor, okay? Make me look good. Go to Instagram, go to 1776 supplyco.official, give them a follow, like 10 of their pictures, and send them a message that said, Dark sent me. Love what you're doing with the community. Love your Glock build stuff. Dope ass slides that you got. Great Glock parts. Something like that. A compliment. You guys will make me look good, and it will show that I am giving you guys the information, helping them get followers and stuff like that. So let's help each other. So that's all that I ask from you. Don't do anything stupid. Only peaceful protests is what we're referring to. And love y'all. Be safe. Have a good night. Peaceful, but fiery.